Chapter 490. On the Mid-Autumn Festival, people and the moon are full. Ancient emperors have a ritual system of offering sacrifices to the sun in spring and the moon in autumn. The Mid-Autumn Festival has been recorded in rites of Zhou. Later, nobles and literati also follow suit. They worship the full moon in the sky during the Mid-Autumn Festival to express their feelings. This custom spreads to the people. In the Tang Dynasty, the Mid-Autumn Festival has become a fixed festival. It prevails in the Song Dynasty. In the Ming and Qing dynasties, it has become one of the most important festivals in Huaxia. Thousands of miles away, people can also express their feelings of missing their loved ones by the bright moon. Of course, this is Huaxia before the new era. Since the war that almost destroyed the Earth civilization, the sky has always been filled with dust particles. The survivors on the Earth have never seen the bright moon again. As time goes by, the Mid-Autumn Festival is gradually forgotten. However, the Mid-Autumn Festival in the year 306 of the new calendar is always different. This day is recorded in the notes of literati of the Earth Federation and unofficial history legends. No matter how the literati think, they all remember one point: the Miaoying Spell Conference. When the clock crosses 12 o'clock on August 14th, the 15th day of the 8th lunar month has not officially arrived. Many people who pitch tents by Dongting Lake can't sleep. Because there are too many people coming to the spell conference, the accommodation in Dongting City can't be occupied. Although some people live in private houses, a small number of people choose to pitch tents by Dongting Lake. The lake water is clear and the willows are green. Living by the lake is no worse than living in a hotel. As of August 14th, more than 400,000 people have poured into Dongting because of the Miaoying Spell Conference. Half of them are people of the Alpha Alliance from various planets. These people are too idle. They just want to watch the fun and rush to Dongting City. There are cultivators on the Earth who have peeped at the genetic secrets of the human body. They can prolong their life by cultivation. This is confirmed by the Alliance. However, can the absurd legends on the Earth also come true? Many people come with this kind of curiosity and the mentality of waiting to expose the scam. Mount June Island is crowded. It has long been surrounded by those who arrive first. There is no open space for them to stand. Later people open the way with crystal coins. If they can't buy a nearby place, it is also good to rent a ship from the Dongting government to approach the island. If it doesn't work, they can occupy the high ground and lock on Mount June Island with binoculars. Several interstellar TV stations of the Alpha Alliance condescend to come here. They install countless cameras and strive to shoot a 720 degrees omnidirectional live broadcast. Their advanced equipment makes the TV stations of the Earth Federation very angry. Speaking of which, this is clearly a grand event of the Earth Federation. Why does the superior Alpha Alliance come here? The legend of Mount June Island was also dug up. The hosts of each station talked nonsense to catch the audience's attention first. After you finished singing, I came on stage, and the quarrel continued until night fell. As the sky gradually darkened, everyone knew that the highlight of the night was about to begin. Lu Qingdai is wearing a white dress. She is sitting in front of the painted statue in front of Lu Yiwell. Behind her are a small number of people of the Alpha Alliance. Most of them are believers of Mortal Heart Fairy. Sitting in the middle of a group of believers, the unprecedented power of faith makes Lu Qingdai feel like a spring breeze. She resisted the urge to use the listening spell in front of the statue. Although she wanted to know how sincere these believers were, her behavior was always disrespectful. In an office in the 8th district of Moonstar, countless paperwall TVs are set up. They take turns to broadcast the so-called exclusive news of each interstellar TV station. The environment is a little noisy, but the gentle Mr. Pang is standing with a little respect that is not well hidden. The Huaxia man leaning on the sofa has been staring at the paperwall TV for a whole day. He seems to be tireless. Mr. Pang is a little helpless. You can go to Dongting. Mr. Pang can't figure out why the Huaxia man and his power can occupy the most advantageous position on Mount June Island. Why does he have to work so hard? The Huaxia man stares at the wall without looking back. After a while, he lowers his voice. No one knows whether he is answering Mr. Pang or talking to himself. I want to see her as soon as possible, but I'm afraid that she doesn't want to see me. Xianzhong, do you know why I chose you when there were so many people competing in the academy? Speaking of the past, Pang Xianzhong becomes more respectful. He was a student from a poor family. His parents died and he only had one elder sister to rely on. They were so poor that they couldn't even afford the negligible tuition fees of the Federation. It was the man in front of him who chose him and let him study. He sent him to the best official cradle academy and secretly arranged for him to enter the federal government. Pang Xianzhong only knows a little about the strength of the Huaxia man. His benefactor is very influential. It is said that he is not only involved in the Alpha Alliance but also other alliances in the galaxy. And Pang Xianzhong is not the only beneficiary. What does it matter? It doesn't prevent him from being grateful. That was my lucky day. It is rare for Pang Xianzhong to abandon the hypocrisy of a politician. His words are very sincere. The Huaxia man smiles in a low voice, because your temperament is very similar to a person. Pang Xianzhong is stunned. The voice of the Huaxia man is getting lower and lower. Even Pang Xianzhong can't hear the latter words clearly. The person who was so annoying in the past doesn't seem so annoying now. However, it's okay to have a similar person. It's better for you to die. The corner of the Huaxia man's mouth moves. He has smiled, but his smile is a little bloody, which makes people feel uneasy. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Capo Channel 2. I am now in Dongting City, a rank 1 member star of the Alliance. At 8 o'clock in the evening, there is no movement at the so-called spell conference. Similar to the live broadcast reporters, the false believers are restless. Those Alliance people who sneak into Mount June Island are laughing in the crowd. There will be a moment of peace wherever Lu Qingdai glances at. However, Mount June is not small and there are too many people. There are always corners that she can't take care of. She also feels a little serious in her heart. It's not because she doesn't trust Lin Luoran. She is just annoyed that these people don't respect Mortal Heart Fairy. Qingdai, don't waste your energy on other people's thoughts. A clear female voice rings in Lu Qingdai's ears. Lu Qingdai quickly responds. She stands up and kowtows to the painted sculpture 3 times. Believer Lu Qingdai welcomes the fairy. As she takes the lead, believers on Mount June Island are the first to shout. The sound spreads out and the lakeside is buzzing for a while. It's the response of the group voices on the lakeside embankment. Some grinning Alliance people also cheer. After 3 shouts, there is no movement around Mount June. They can't help but sneer. Could it be that Mortal Heart Fairy is too shy to see people? It's obviously a lie. I came here in vain. Ha, I heard that the hairy crabs in Dongting Lake are good. It's not a waste of time. Let's ask the mayor of Dongting for some specialties. Lu Qingdai clenches her hands so tightly that her nails almost pierce into her flesh. These people make her have the impulse to throw thunder punishment spell and kill them all. The hour hand just points to 9 o'clock. On August 15th before the new era, this is the roundest and brightest time of the moon. However, at this moment, there is only the dim light from the lake on Mount June. It seems that the atmosphere is heavy, until a moonlight breaks through the heavy black clouds and shines on Mount June Island. Even the surrounding lake is illuminated. The moonlight tonight is really good. Many people secretly sigh. However, they suddenly realize that the moon has not been seen on the earth for a long time. Where does the bright moonlight come from? Everyone looks up and finds that the moonlight they are bathed in is like someone splitting the polluted gas over the earth. The moonlight is unyielding and casts down with the momentum of sweeping away the darkness. It can dispel the haze in people's hearts. In the blink of an eye, the light becomes free and brighter. A few bright lights come from the direction of the moon star. The wonderful sound of Chinese bamboo instruments is coming from afar, washing people's hearts. Gradually, people can see that it is a few fairies flying to Mount June Island. Some are playing the guqin, some are playing the sheng, and some are holding the pipa. The beautiful voice was moving and the celestial figure was faintly discernible. This dreamlike scene made the believers kowtow again and again. It also made the onlookers shut their mouths unknowingly. In this situation, even the sound of breathing was like blasphemy. Who said that there are no fairies in this world? Even the major radio stations of the Alliance can't find these fairies. Chapter 491. Which one is Mortal Heart Fairy? The older believers look again and again. The fairies who are playing the music are so beautiful that people don't dare to look at them directly, let alone see their faces clearly. However, with just a glance, most people know that Mortal Heart Fairy is not among them. All they know is that Lu Xinyo has painted various fairy paintings in her life, which are only 70% or 80% similar to Lin Luoran herself. Those fairies playing music are extremely beautiful, but they are not Mortal Heart Fairy. The music is so moving that people can't have any evil thoughts. The female fairy playing music is smiling like a flower. Even her hair is extremely beautiful. At this moment, many people on the scene are intoxicated by the music. The anxiety caused by the long wait is soothed by the music. Outside the venue, in the live broadcast, because of the time difference needed for the signal to transmit back, even the nearest member star of the Alpha Alliance from the Earth has just played the scene of the moon rising from the clouds and fairies playing music. After the song is played, the moonlight is still the same. The female fairy playing music is still smiling. When people come to their senses, she still disappears. There is still the fragrance of flowers in the air, proving that the real female fairy just flew down and fell into the mortal world. Still no Mortal Heart Fairy. There is some commotion in the crowd. Lu Qingdai looks around. Mount June Island is shrouded in the cool moonlight. It is full of light. The bustling crowd has already scared the birds on the island away. The colored sculpture standing in front of Lu Yi well ripples like water. Some people still notice the change of the sculpture and hold their breath. First the hands and feet, then the dress and shoes are dyed by the water little by little. Until the facial features are revealed, people close to the well find that the colored sculpture in front of the well is alive. Lin Luoran ties her hair up meticulously tonight and wears an emerald jade crown on her head. She breaks the tradition of Huaxia ancient costumes with a man's crown and a woman's hairpin. It is simple and elegant. The face shape is completely exposed, which makes her profile more perfect. Her eyes are shining like stars. Fairy. Lu Qingdai is the closest and she is the first to come to her senses. Everyone wakes up from this kind of freehand landscape feeling. They can't help but step back. It is a kind of blasphemy to get too close. A halo softer and whiter than the moonlight shines on Lin Luoran. She nods to Lu Qingdai calmly and then opens her palm. She puts an unknown seed under her feet at random. Filming equipment from various planets of the Alpha Alliance perfectly witnesses the myth of the Earth. The seed is planted by Lin Luoran. She suddenly turns around and smiles. Who can lend me some water? Lin Luoran's voice is not loud, but not only on the island, but also on all the boats on the lake, and the citizens on the embankment can hear it clearly. Lin Luoran is like a clear spring running through people's hearts. She is more approachable and kind than they think. However, why does Mortal Heart Fairy suddenly ask everyone to borrow water? A middle-aged woman who was sitting closer to them boldly took out her own glass of water. The reinforced glass is half full of drinking water. Lu Qingdai takes it and hands it to Lin Luoran. Except for Lu Qingdai, who is a little closer to Lin Luoran, there is already a circle of 30 feet around her. Lin Luoran looks up at the crowd. How can the fragrance of osmanthus be missing in the mid-autumn moonlight? You all come from afar. This osmanthus expresses my gratitude. The water in the glass is poured down and the silver wire falls to the ground. The seed on the ground is soaked in water. Green light spots like fireflies scatter around. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, the seed takes root and germinates in just a few seconds. It grows branches and leaves. It is no taller than a person. In the blink of an eye, it becomes a osmanthus tree as thick as 2 people's waists, covering an area of more than 10 meters and more than 15 feet high. The branches of the osmanthus are full of buds. Until these pale yellow osmanthus blossoms, the strong fragrance of the osmanthus pervades the entire Mount June Island and then drifts to the lake and the shore. Believers are shocked. Even those allies who come to watch the fun and make trouble and interstellar TV stations who come to expose the truth are stunned and speechless because of the scene in front of them. Lin Luoran doesn't know when she has gone to the treetops. Looking down from above, the spell conference is full of people. Including the shore of the lake, there are no less than hundreds of thousands of people. When she stands at the highest point of her sight, virtual projections everywhere project her whole body on the light screen from several angles. When she looks down, her face is as beautiful as jade and she is alone in the world. In the strong fragrance of osmanthus, Lin Luoran casts a little spell to dispel the pollution gas that has been lingering all year round. A full moon emerges from the clouds. Looking from the lakeside, the moon hangs low on the sparkling lake and becomes a quiet background hanging behind Lin Luoran. In this situation and this scene, only the arrival of an immortal can make such a scene. So beautiful! A young man whose hair is dyed in various colors murmurs to himself, which makes everyone angry. It is not only the people who are beautiful but also the lake and the moonlight. It is the Miaoyin spell conference that allows them to enjoy the osmanthus flowers under the moon. In the new era, they have a real mid-autumn festival. Her eyes are still so bright. In Pang Xianzhong's office in the 8th district of Moonstar, the Huaxia man seems to be immobilized the moment he sees Lin Luoran on the screen. After more than 300 years, the Earth has really changed. He never thought that he would live for so long and that he could really see her again after 300 years. She seems to have grown taller and can cast many spells easily. It can be seen that her personal ability has also improved a lot. Normally, no kind of love can withstand the sharpening of more than 300 years. However, he left his hometown in anger when his love was at its peak. He couldn't get what he wanted. The huge distance between them, the drastic changes of the earth, and the barrier of 300 years make his heart so hot that it is difficult to melt. She has become the cinnabar mole in his palm. The Huaxia man lowers his head and smiles bitterly. It is a pity that he can't see her again. If he does, she will definitely draw her sword and kill him with her temper. Evil light flashes in his eyes. Even if they turn against each other and are no longer in the same camp, it is better than the 3 words, Mu Tianan, becoming an insignificant memory in the corner of Lin Luoran. Mu Tianan leans on the sofa and drinks up a glass of red wine. As time goes by, old friends are hard to find. In this world, she is the only person he knows. Naturally, he will not give up easily. On Mount June Island, the wonderful sound has passed away and the spell conference has just begun. Lin Luoran's appearance has already made people's hearts boil. The feeling of pure power of faith surging into her body makes her close her eyes. After feeling for a moment, she looks at Lu Qingdai and slowly says, "Qingdai, you are already an oracle. Stand beside me." The light overflowing from her fingertips makes Lu Qingdai like a leaf being blown up. She falls on the top of the laurel tree. Stepping on the soft branches, Lu Qingdai stands respectfully behind Lin Luoran. This great glory is enough to make the master of the Lu family who looks up under the tree almost faint with happiness. Believers only feel that it is a lifetime blessing to bathe in the same moonlight with mortal heart fairy. Only the people of the Alpha Alliance in the crowd wake up first and ask sharply. The word, spell conference, is originally a traditional Buddhist ceremony on your earth. It is a gathering held to preach Buddhism and worship Buddhas and monks. It is to gather pure food, solemn Dharma objects, worship Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, set up a fast, give food, preach, and praise Buddhism. Mortal heart fairy, what is your background? Believers look at each other angrily, but they can't refute the Alliance's words. Every believer here knows that Mortal Heart Fairy once lived in the Dongting Dragon Palace. Before the new era, she used to cure diseases in the rain, which benefited many people. However, every god, Buddha, and true immortal has a good reason. Everyone really knows nothing about Lin Luoran's past. Mortal Heart Fairy suddenly appears in front of people. The host of the interstellar TV sees that everyone is silent and he is even more proud. He stares at Lin Luoran and says, "It is you who sheltered the survivors of the Earth in the waters of Dongting 300 years ago. Then, during the interstellar war, when mutant monsters attacked Earth humans, where were you as a true immortal?" Sharper questions are thrown at Lin Luoran one after another. The Alpha Alliance is not unprepared. Lu Qingdai looks angry. The thunder penalty in her palm is about to fall, but Lin Luoran raises her head and stops her. Even if you don't ask me this question, I will tell you today. Lin Luoran's eyes are deep and she doesn't seem to lack confidence at all. 300 years ago, I was just an ordinary female cultivator from Huaxia. Because of the rain, I saved people. I held the Immortal's book in my hand and got thousands of believers. On this Mount June Island, in front of Lu Yiwell, I apotheosized myself as Mortal Heart. I was in charge of the waters of Dongting within 800 miles. This is my origin. There is nothing to hide. As soon as Lin Luoran finishes her words, everyone present is in an uproar. Hearing the key words, ordinary female cultivator of Huaxia apotheosized herself, people can't tell how they feel. Some people are disappointed, some people are confused, and some people are shaken. A new immortal who just proved Tao for more than 300 years? Lin Luoran's words almost tear off the mysterious veil covering her. She draws the moon out of the clouds, fairies play music, and drops seeds into osmanthus layer by layer. The people of the Alpha Alliance are excited. People of the Alpha Alliance are happy. The Alliance is not afraid of cultivators making trouble. It is afraid that some cultivators will bewitch people under the banner of religion and make the Alliance fall into internal chaos. After all, the Alpha Alliance has studied the history of the Earth for many years. It still knows that it is very difficult to deal with religion. Lin Luoran doesn't seem to worry about the reversal of the situation. She looks down at everyone from above the osmanthus. She is not affected by the mutiny, but her tone has been raised. Chapter 492. When Lin Luoran says evil intentions, her smile is impeccable. She doesn't stare at anyone, which makes the troublesome host of the interstellar TV blush with anger. In a confrontation between two sides, the most damaging thing was not the sharp words, angry cursing, or reasoning, but the difference in status. The one with a higher status would occasionally lower his status to talk to you, but in reality, it was only because he was interested, and he did not see the other party as an opponent that he could rival. Disregard, blatant disregard, was the best way to let a clown recognize his identity. The impetuous hearts of believers are instantly aroused by the common hatred of the enemy. Lin Luoran is right. From the standpoint of the invader, they accuse Mortal Heart Fairy of not showing up to help people in the interstellar war and the disaster of mutant monsters. If she can't be forgiven, then the people of the Alpha Alliance who say this are even worse than pigs and dogs. What rank one member star? In the name of aid, they plunder the Earth's resources and mutant monsters' crystal nuclei are bought at a very low price. These are not what the residents of the Earth Federation beg for. The 8 districts of Moonstar have perfect bunkers. The air in the districts is said to completely imitate the air quality of the Earth before the new era and before the 20th century. Pluto is about to be developed. However, they are not the Earth at all. The humans on Earth who were born after the new era had never enjoyed the wind that belonged to nature. Mortal Heart Fairy has never shown up. However, the waters of Dongting where she proved her Tao has preserved a pure land for the people of the new era on the war-torn and defiled Earth. These people of the Alpha Alliance are sowing dissension as invaders at this time. Believers are angry for no reason. The emotions that have been suppressed for generations need to be vented. In the hustle and hustle, the host of the interstellar TV is taken down. On the crowded Mount June Island, the Earthlings burst out in silence like beating drums and passing flowers. They work together to carry several people of the Alpha Alliance from the center of the island to the edge of Mount June Island. They don't hesitate to throw several people of the interstellar TV into Dongting Lake. Plop! The crowd bursts into cheers. Lin Luoran watches all this from the laurel tree. It is easy for her to kill these people, but it is definitely not as good as the effect of making believers unite against the enemy. Not only did the unstable balls of faith not extinguish, they became even more solid. Lin Luoran raises her head. Not enough. The power of faith is far from enough. Fairy, you control the waters of Dongting within 800 miles, so Dongting City can become a pure land. What about other places? Don't you care about them? A 7 or 8-year-old girl is held in her father's arms. She speaks out her doubts loudly. Everyone turns around and the little girl's father is so anxious that he covers his mouth tightly. On the laurel tree, Lin Luoran can see clearly that the little girl's father is a little panicked, while the believers who turn their heads around are somewhat expectant. She felt that the timing of the little girl's appearance couldn't be more perfect. Lowering her voice, she said, "Don't worry. Are you her father?" "Yes." "Little girl, why do you ask her like this?" The child's father let go of his daughter's hand. The little girl's eyes were black and bright, full of spirit. "Because Dad said that our ancestral home in Hebei is now occupied by mutated beasts. Before Grandpa died, he held Dad's hand and said that he wanted to be buried in the ancestral grave. Fairy sister, can you help us?" Lin is, with, and loud. She's, and fairy. At Luoran. At, in. Among them, the older believers are the most emotional. Homeland complex is deeply rooted in the Huaxia people. They are old and can't stay in their homeland for a long time. Being buried in their homeland is like returning to their roots. My hometown is Jinling. Xinjiang. Anhui. Nanling. Every time Lin Luoran says a place, people respond to her. Everyone looks at Lin Luoran with surprise in their eyes. It turns out that they are not the only ones who miss their homeland. Among them, there are Caucasians and Africans. Lin Luoran doesn't know how they become Lin Luoran's followers. People of the Alpha Alliance look at each other. Civilization is developing too fast. Interstellar navigation is too easy. They have seen too many beautiful scenes in the universe. Most of them can't understand what kind of obsession Earthlings have for their destroyed homeland. Before the new era, the wasteland that was covered in dust and stinky water was still a beautiful blue planet with 70% of its surface covered in water. Even though it had been overexploited and neglected before the new era, it was still a beautiful blue planet with 70% of its surface covered in water. The 7 continents, the 4 oceans, the roof of the world, the extremely hot equator, the extremely cold poles, the strange peaks and lofty ridges, the valleys and valleys, the endless grasslands, and the rainforests with rich species. Earthlings walked into the universe. In the long years to come, they would find planets that were more beautiful, larger, and more suitable for living, but there would not be another planet in the universe like Earth, which had witnessed the glory, suffering, and history of humans on Earth. The bright and charming starry sky was there, and Earthlings only wanted to find their home. Lu Qingdai has been standing behind Lin Luoran without saying a word. Under the laurel tree, on Mount June Island on the shore of Dongting Lake, the citizens of Dongting City who are watching the live broadcast, the Earth immigrants who moved to the Moonstar, and the vanguard who reclaimed the wasteland on Pluto. 8 out of 10 people who watch the live broadcast are infected by this sad atmosphere. Lu Qingdai remembers the hometown of the Lu family, Jiang City. The little girl who caused all this looks around with her black eyes. She doesn't know what happened to her grandparents, uncles, and aunts around her. Lin Luoran knows everything. She is infected by such emotions. Even with the personal ability of gathering vitality, she is also touched for a while. She chokes back her sobs and says softly, "Although I proved Tao in Dongting, I used to be a person from the center of Chuan province. The land of abundance and the beautiful mountains are now the same as Huaxia and other places on the earth. It is all scorched earth with fierce beasts. Therefore your wish is also my wish. The people of the Alpha Alliance who come to watch the fun don't dare to make trouble again." Although Lin Luoran's tone is light, it is filled with boundless coldness. "I am just a little god in charge of a water area. My magic power is low. 5 years ago, I was forced to leave the Earth by the Alpha Alliance. But today, 5 years later, I am back. I am back and stand with you. I am back and stand with you." Some people are crying, and some people bow their heads and cry silently. People who have not experienced the destruction of their country, invasion, colonization, and being the lowest rank 1-member star citizen will never understand this kind of feeling. Please believe me. Lin Luoran is shrouded in the hazy moonlight. She doesn't feel it yet. However, a speech with a script is totally different from sincere words from the heart. Her side face looks extremely holy at this moment. Her whole body seems to be covered with moonlight. The lake, the moon, and the osmanthus tree are all overshadowed. Please believe me, I will do my best. Lin Luoran doesn't say it out, but she has already gotten a response. Faith groups like fireflies fly up from the residential buildings in Dongting City, from the Moon Star, and from Pluto. They are faster than sound and faster than light. In this world, only the power of faith is not limited by distance. As long as it is formed, it will automatically fly over thousands of rivers and mountains and gather to the source of faith. Lin Luoran is the source. She is surrounded by fireflies. Lin Luoran doesn't laugh. She suddenly feels a sense of crisis coming from the opposite direction of the Moon Star. The entire Dongting, no, it should be Mount June. She is suddenly locked on. Sure enough, the Alpha Alliance won't allow her to unite the survivors of the Earth, will it? Mr. Pang, the Alpha Alliance's space station in the Equatorial 3 orbit has dispatched 3 starships. Their target is Dongting City on the Earth. The office door is pushed open and the secretary is sweating. Pang Xinzhong grits his teeth tightly. The defense of Dongting City is built and reinforced by him. No one knows the situation better than him. There is no way to fight against 3 starships. The Alpha Alliance has endured for 5 years. This time, the Alliance garrison was uprooted 5 years ago and mortal heart fairies slapped them hard in the face. Is it time for them to take revenge? They didn't even care about the Alliance members mixed in with them? Inform Dongting City of this news. As a last resort, we have to use our backup. We must protect Dongting. Yes. You see, Mu Tianan doesn't respond at all. Pang Xinzhong can't figure out what he is thinking. He has been looking for Mortal Heart Fairy for many years. At this moment she is in danger, but he is not very worried. Xinzhong, you underestimate her and Huaxia cultivators too much. Even if there was a gathering vitality cultivator in Huaxia, the Earth would not be like this, let alone Lin Luoran, who is also a deity. The difference between 10 bearing essence cultivators and 20 bearing essence cultivators in understanding and using the law of heaven and earth is enough to affect the whole situation. Air attack. Unknown starships are approaching. The alarm in Dongting City is more urgent than when mutant monsters attacked the city. Speaking of air attack, everyone's face changes greatly. People push and shove each other, and it is a mess. Lin Luoran flies up from the laurel tree and has a panoramic view of the entire Dongting water. What are you panicking for? Where's your faith, Where did it all go? Earthlings in Dongting City at this moment, are you willing to help me repel the enemy ships and defend Dongting? Are you willing to help me repel the enemy ships and defend Dongting? Do we have that ability? Chapter 493. The sharp siren of the air raid interrupts the unfinished steps of the Miaoyin spell conference. Lin Luoran is not worried but happy. Lin Luoran was still worried about how to add fuel to today's spell conference in order to achieve her goal. Now she doesn't know what's wrong with the decision-makers of the Alpha Alliance. They actually made such a stupid move. The Alpha Alliance is too impatient. After today, they have countless opportunities to bring her down. They can't watch her win over the people's hearts. They even want to kill her at her most glorious moment to save the face she lost 5 years ago. Do they want to use the broadcast of the Interstellar Channel to establish their power? In the past 2 years on the return journey of the Edward, she has heard a lot of news about the internal troubles of the Alpha Alliance. In other places, even if Lin Luoran can deal with 3 starships, she can't take care of the safety of others. Unfortunately, this is Dongting, Mount June Island, Lin Luoran's Taoist field. The priesthood in charge of a water area doesn't just work without getting paid. People's hearts have just been united. She is the Taoist field of apatheicized. She has the right time, the right place, and the right people. Since the Alpha Alliance wants to add the strongest stroke to the spell conference, she can't stand it if she doesn't accept these people's death. Are you willing to help me repel the enemy ships and defend Dongting? Lin Luoran's question is formal, passionate, confident, and at ease. She doesn't seem to be panicked. She even uses a little art of nature to confuse people's minds in the question. The effect is very good. The defense deployment of Dongting has been activated and the army has been dispatched. The panicked people are shocked by the confidence in her words. They remember that they are not without support. As the last paradise on the Earth Federation has invested the most money and energy in Dongting City. Although the Earth is only a rank 1 member star, the defense of Dongting City is more than that. More importantly, they still had a mainstay here. No matter when Mortal Heart Fairy becomes apatheized, she said that she is in charge of the waters of Dongting within 800 miles. When Lin Luoran is about to speak, the 3 starships are already visible to the naked eye. The interstellar standard language through the loudspeaker is condescending and cold. Cultivators below, listen up. You have violated the interstellar criminal law of the Alpha Alliance in 5 years. You robbed the starships of the Alliance garrison, killed the Alliance soldiers, and killed the Alliance public officials. Please don't resist unnecessarily. Before he finishes his words, Lin Luoran laughs. What if I don't surrender? Are you going to launch an airstrike? The Earthlings on the rank 1 member star are worthless. There are still many Alliance members in Dongting City watching the fun. You don't care about their lives? Weapons didn't have eyes and could automatically distinguish between friend and foe. Lin Luoran's words spread all over Dongting City. The faces of those tourists of the Alpha Alliance turn green. So many of them were abandoned by the Alliance? A cold response came from the starship. If the citizens of other member planets of the Alliance are implicated because of you, the Alliance will definitely seek compensation from Earth. If necessary, we will not rule out the use of violent means to punish you. The Earthlings in Dongting City all feel the same. They can't suppress the anger in their hearts. Finally, an Immortal stands up with them and says that he wants to restore the old Earth and change the current situation of slavery. However, the Alpha Alliance immediately comes to destroy their dreams. It's too much. It's too much. If they don't resist today, they will have no courage to resist in the future. Tourists of the Alpha Alliance are desperate and angry. The Alliance, which has always boasted that its system is transparent and perfect, treats them as cannon fodder. In order to deal with an Earth cultivator, so many of them have to die with him. Compensation? People are dead. What's the use of crystal coins? Shit. Politicians are all hypocritical shit. Negotiation failed. The electronic voice has no feeling. The artillery is about to rain in an instant. The backup plan, ordered by Pang Xinzhong, has been launched. Lin Luoran can feel the movement underground. Is that? Forget it. There is no need to waste the defense of Dongting. The stamp of the Dragon King appears in Lin Luoran's hand. She looks down at all the states of Dongting. If you don't want to die, from now on, there is only one thought in your mind. Defend Dongting. If I fail, you can't leave the Earth alive. Defend Dongting. The little girl is held tightly in her father's arms. She is the first to shout with a crisp child's voice. Defend Dongting. The old lady tightly covers her white-haired husband beside her. Defend Dongting. A non-mainstream teenager of the Alpha Alliance can't help but shout out. After thinking of what Lin Luoran said, he shivers and shouts again. The power of hope for survival, the power of faith. If they want to live, they must believe that Lin Luoran can defend Dongting. These shining light spots are absorbed by the stamp in Lin Luoran's hand. The sleeping dragon soul is replenished with energy. The dragon roars deafeningly and a big silver dragon jumps out of the stamp. Dragon? That is a real dragon. The voice of Defend Dongting is louder. If people still have doubts about Lin Luoran, this Huaxia dragon makes them more confident than ever. The silver dragon flies higher and higher. Before the artillery fire hits the bunker over Dongting City, the place where the real dragon hovers makes a complicated and huge stamp with the power of faith. The surging silver dragon and the swarming power of hope interweave into the strongest defensive wall in the world. The artillery fire falls. Some citizens close their eyes tightly and shout, "Defend Dongting," at the top of their lungs. Their fate is unknown and the fear of air strikes. In the next second, will it be the victory that mortal heart fairy said or the bell of the god of death? Forget it. It's better to die brilliantly than to live a humble life. At least they are still in Dongting. At least they will die in their homeland. Defend Dongting. People clench their fists and open their eyes. Young people, old people, and their mother tongues suddenly appear. Finally, the intensive artillery fire launched by the 3 starships falls on the thin translucent cover. The stamp is as stable as Mount Tai. None of the artillery fire breaks through the defensive cover. Dongting City is covered by the translucent stamp. The artillery fire falls on it. It is more brilliant than any spring festival fireworks in Huaxia before the new era. Lin Luoran looks up at the prosperous city. The stamp has been completed. No attack can break this defensive cover unless it is a true immortal on the Dragon King of Dongting. No, maybe even a true immortal has to avoid the attack at this moment. It is not the stamp of the Dragon King, the former Dragon King, or Lin Luoran who wins, but these mortals who have never been taken seriously by cultivators like ants. Lin Luoran's mind moves and the bright sword is already in her hand. She suddenly disappears in the air. When she reappears, she is already standing outside the stamp. The shock wave of artillery fire hitting on the protective cover of the stamp makes the heat billow. Lin Luoran holds the bright sword and stands in the wind. Bathed in the fire, Lin Luoran returns from Penglai a few years ago. She saw the upheaval in the center of Chuan and the ruins of Lin's house. Her hostility is completely stimulated. Her eyes are red. At this moment, she has deviated from the right path, killing. Only blood can sacrifice to this scorched land. Sacrifice to the heroes' cemetery by Dongting Lake. Sacrifice to the little fatty Ma Ming and Sixi of the Mu family who are sleeping in it. Sacrifice to the compatriots she knows or doesn't know who died in the war. Sacrifice to this once beautiful planet. Lin Luoran splits a small airship with her sword. When she is about to jump to the top of the starship, a blue sword light slides from the southwest like lightning. Chapter 494. A sword comes from the west. The one flying on the sword is Baojia? Lin Luoran is stunned and she is almost hit by a cannonball. She doesn't know that Baojia has returned to the earth. It seems that Baojia has arrived earlier than her. She also doesn't know when Baojia learned to ride on the sword. What makes her uneasy is why Baojia is here at this time. Baojia rides on the sword and sees Lin Luoran staring at the direction of her flying from with a blank face. Baojia pulls Lin Luoran away to avoid an attack from a tricky angle. How dare you be distracted at the moment of life and death? Lin Luoran tentatively calls, Baojia? Baojia raises her narrow eyes. No. No, it means that she didn't remember the past when she went to the center of Chuan province. It doesn't matter. Whether she remembers it or not, she is here to fight side by side with her at this time. Lin Luoran only feels indescribable pleasure in her heart. Everything goes well today and the Miaoyin spell conference goes smoothly. At this critical moment, Baojia suddenly appears and pretends to fight side by side with her. How long has she been thinking about this day? The hilt of the bright sword in her hand is hot as if it wants to break away from her. Is it because the snow sword is also here? Lin Luoran turns her head and smiles at Baojia. Let's go to the starship. Seeing that Baojia nods without thinking, Lin Luoran knows that they are thinking the same thing. Why destroy these 3 starships? Don't feel sorry for God. Lin Luoran takes Baojia and disappears on the spot. Water-like ripples appear in the gunfire and dense airships. The 2 of them ride on the sword and shuttle among the gunfire airships. They are the 2 most dazzling scenes above Dongting City. When they appear again, they are already on the starship. Lin Luoran draws a strange circle with her right hand and a door appears on the shell of the starship. She takes Baojia to fly in and the door disappears. The silvery hull is still there. Earth cultivators invade the starship. Danger! Danger! The alarm is sharp and the direction where Lin Luoran and Baojia appear is almost full of holes. Baojia breaks away from Lin Luoran's hand. I don't need your help. Lin Luoran feels that Baojia's behavior is extremely childish, but she doesn't say much. She points to two entrances and tells them to go left and right respectively. Baojia nods and chooses right first. Lin Luoran comes in from the left. After reaching the level of gathering vitality, she doesn't use the 5 elements escape spell at all. Instead, she uses the materialization gate to enter freely, which is the wall-passing spell. Although it is not as widely applicable as the 5 elements escape spell, it is absolutely silent and the detector won't find any abnormal data. Lin Luoran's spiritual mind sees that Baojia is going to the central control room. Lin Luoran doesn't grab her but clears the obstacles along the way. She takes care of the stubborn resistance in person. She knows that she can't be merciful when 2 armies are fighting. She also rounds up those who are not killed and kicks them out of the starship with the wall-passing spell. They are not cultivators. They die under the attack of the starship itself when they fall into the air. The other 2 starships realize that something is wrong, but there is nothing they can do. After killing the lizard soldiers, Lin Luoran doesn't want to waste any more time on the robot. She contacts Xiaoji and asks if it can take over the starship. This kind of small starship is not as good as the Edward. Xiaoji teaches her to cut off the connection between the starship and the Alpha Alliance. The starship is forced to land on the scorched land outside Dongting City. Soon, a large group of mutant monsters surround it. The small airships are still trying to return and recapture the airship. Baojia and Lin Luoran get out of the starship. Baojia says that she will deal with these people. Lin Luoran is relieved and runs to the other 2 starships. Lin Luoran doesn't know what the enemy commander is thinking. He never gives up the plan to attack Dongting City. Does he think that the life and death of believers can restrain her? Or is she not the target from the beginning? Lin Luoran realizes that she could sneak into the starship 5 years ago. How can the Alpha Alliance not think about it? In the war when the Alpha Alliance invaded the Earth, there were bearing essence cultivators in Huaxia. There were many powerful figures in this world. The Alpha Alliance forced Huaxia cultivators to use the protection of the Tower of Babel. Maybe they used the lives of ordinary people to restrain them. Unfortunately, this trick doesn't work today. Lin Luoran strolls leisurely among all kinds of airships and attacks. Her spiritual mind spreads out unrestrainedly. She even disrupts the combat signal of the starship controlling the airship. The shouts in Dongting City are deafening. Lin Luoran and Baojia fight side by side and easily capture a starship. Now no one worries that they will fail. Other people who have been paying attention to Dongting, such as Mr. Pang, smile. It seems that he hasn't been so relaxed for many years. After this war, the status of the Earth in the Alpha Alliance will be rewritten. Mu Tianen, who supports him, is very excited. Lin Luoran is very strong now. He calculates in his mind, but he can't be sure who will win if they fight one day. He has an intuition that Lin Luoran hasn't shown all her cards yet. However, he still has a chance to win. Mu Tianen picks up a glass of red wine with his left hand. He is wearing an old and gloomy bat ring on his middle finger. No one knows how Mu Tianen has survived for hundreds of years. Brother Mu, who used to be a playboy, has fair skin and a handsome but feminine face. When he tastes the red wine, he looks like a monster. Xianzhong, after the Dongting incident is over, you can officially become the head of the General Staff of the Federation. The next step should be the promotion of the Earth. Those people in the Alpha Alliance will never give up until they see the coffin. In the General Senate of the Earth Federation, Pang Xianzhong has just reached the age of 45. Except for the special period of the reconstruction of the Earth at the beginning of the new era, it is rare to see such a young member of the General Senate. In 5 years, Pang Xianzhong has gradually become a mainstay from a rising political star. The equipment of the interstellar TV is too far away and Lin Luoran moves fast. Mu Tianen watches for a while and then stands up. Are you leaving? Mu Tianen nods. They will win soon. Pang Xianzhong sends Mu Tianen all the way out. He gets on the small airship parked on the rooftop and tells Pang Xianzhong that he doesn't need to see him anymore. The airship slides out of the rooftop and flies out of the bunker through a special channel. It flies to the starship hidden in the void. It is not the time to meet them yet. However, he can give some clowns a warning. On the other side of the Moonstar, there is a space station of the Alpha Alliance. Mu Tianen points in that direction. A red light comes out of the bat ring on his fingertip. Like a ghost, it flies through the interstellar space and attacks the space station. The red nematode shadow is unimpeded all the way. No one notices it and it sneaks into a control room of the space station. A young general in the silver military uniform of the Alpha Alliance groans and bends down with a headache. His forehead is covered with sweat and his handsome face is a little distorted. "Colonel, what's wrong with you?" The major struggles to stand up. Tell them to retreat. The space station can't be used anymore. There is an unknown breath in his eyes. If Lin Luoran is here, she will definitely recognize this old acquaintance who should have died long ago. Sutherland. Gut. He lowers his head and his expression changes. This time, he just wants to test Lin Luoran's current strength. How can there be a big monster? That majestic demonic energy was definitely much stronger than the demonic energy he cultivated when he possessed this person. These damn alien barbarians have no talent at all. Garter left pathetically, and soon only an empty shell was left of the space station. In Dongting City, Lin Luoran and Baojia are standing on the last captured starship. When the smoke disperses, the two of them are pure and beautiful. They are almost the same in terms of appearance and temperament. Dongting City is filled with cheers. They not only keep their names but also feel ashamed for what happened today. Did we win? We won. Dad, we won. Grandpa, did you see that? The Alpha Alliance is not invincible. Mortal Heart Fairy. Mortal Heart Fairy. The sound of people converges into a heat wave, igniting the entire Dongting City. Lin Luoran lands on the laurel tree and takes back the small seal of the Dragon King. The silver dragon returns but the seal above Dongting City does not dissipate. Lin Luoran is waiting for the crowd to calm down. She is waiting for the victory picture to be spread to the Moonstar, to Pluto, and to other settlements on the Earth. She is waiting for the moment when the power of faith is the most pious and condensed. Chapter 495. In this world, there is only one way to build the Taoist root for mortals. The power of faith is endless and omnipotent. It is not mixed with any hypocrisy. Except for the end of the world, she has to preach and absorb believers step by step. She may not be able to build the Taoist root when Mrs. Lin's life is over. But today, all the people are united. They have almost turned Dongting into a city of faith. Han Weya and Will. If Colin can build the Taoist root at this time, he has to thank the Alpha Alliance. Thank you everyone. Lin Luoran lowers her head and says to herself. Only Lu Qingdai, who is very close to her, can hear these words. Lin Luoran doesn't lie. Faith is mutual. Without the wholehearted trust of these people, she can't keep Dongting. She can't build the stamp above Dongting City either. Lin Luoran closes her eyes and feels the strong power of faith. Dongting has really become her Taoist field. As long as the faith does not collapse, the stamp will not disappear. It will automatically defend when attacked. At this time, Dongting City is immersed in cheers. Baojia has left with a sword. It is the most critical moment. Now is not the time to look for Baojia. She returns to the Earth and they will have many opportunities to meet. Lin Luoran whispers a few words to Lu Qingdai and disappears. Mortal Heart Fairy suddenly disappears from the laurel tree. People on Mount June Island are very shocked. On the lakeside, the Earth Federation watching the live broadcast is at a loss for a moment. Lu Qingdai feels that she is standing alone on the laurel tree and countless eyes are focused on her. She is so excited that her mouth is dry. Lin Luoran has gone to the Dragon Palace under Dongting Lake at this time. As soon as she appears in the main hall, Ma Shuangshuang comes to greet her. Aunt Lin. She knows clearly what happened on the shore in the Seaview Pavilion. Although Ma Shuangshuang has matured a lot in 5 years, The grand scene just now is enough to make her heart surge, and she can't restrain her excitement. How's your brother and the others? Ma Shuangshuang nods and follows Lin Luoran all the way to the side hall. In a side hall, there are 3 luminous cocoons at this time. Ma Yiming is in the middle, Han Weia and Colin are side by side with him. All 3 of them close their eyes. In fact, since the Alpha Alliance attacked Dongting City, this process of building the Taoist route has begun. She had rushed over just to carry out the last step. Lin Luoran takes out the small seal of the Dragon King and the golden booklet. She gave these 2 things to Yuan Yi, but the first apprentice left them in the 9th temple. Without the golden booklet and the small seal of the Dragon King, it would be troublesome for her to do these 2 things today. Seeing that the 3 light cocoons are solidifying, Lin Luoran sets up the golden book and the stamp of the Dragon King. She turns around and asks with a smile, "How about it? Have you made up your mind?" Ma Shuangshuang blinks. Of course. He can be the first alien who can cultivate, but he will only be a servant for 100 years. Brother Colin feels that he is very lucky. Techniques should not be imparted randomly, and cultivators should not accept disciples randomly. The higher her cultivation, the more she could feel the omnipresent power of the law. The karma that the Buddhists talked about was actually very mysterious, but it really existed. She recalled what she had done in the past. Although she could not help but help others occasionally, she did not break the rules when it came to imparting techniques. If a person were to ascend to heaven, there would be no restrictions on helping friends and family to enter the Tao. The first apprentice, Yuan Yi, found the butterfly bush flower for her. He gave up the reward and only wanted to join the sect. The second apprentice, Xing Tian, was an old acquaintance of hers for many years. He also helped the Lin family to succeed. It was not unreasonable to accept him as a disciple. Cui Wanlu was an old friend. Wang Miaoyi and her husband also took care of the Lin family when she was trapped in the blood pool underground palace of Jinling. Not to mention the brother and sister of the Ma family. Her brother Luodong made a promise in the past. Shaping the Taoist route for Han Weia was to fulfill the promise with White Fairy at that time. Han Weia took out the 10,000-year hollow azurite, which was very precious for alchemists. Lin Luoran gave the result first, but Lin Luoran had to pay back the cause. The most difficult thing is Colin. He has been wandering among the stars with them and he has always been sincere. If Lin Luoran still took care of him, it would be fine. However, the cause and effect of shaping the Taoist route are too big. Lin Luoran has to make him make a solemn vow to be a servant for 100 years after he becomes a cultivator. As Ma Shuangshuang said, many people would fight for shaping the Taoist route and being a servant for 100 years. Lin Luoran calms down her mind. She picks up the brush she has prepared for a long time. She dips it in ink and writes on the white paper of the golden book that she will exchange the power of faith for the mortal Han Weia and the mortal Weir. Colin's request to shape the Taoist route. As soon as the ink dries, Lin Luoran has picked up the stamp of the Dragon King and solemnly stamped it. She is a little nervous. Although the method mentioned by Cyan Phoenix is not difficult, few gods have done this since ancient times. On the one hand, the power of faith is precious. They may not sacrifice for mortals. On the other hand, ordinary gods may not have the amount of power of faith she gets today. Time passes very slowly. Ma Shuangshuang's heart is in her throat. It feels like a few minutes or a lifetime. The handwriting on the white paper of the golden book disappears and flies into the sky. Even Lin Luoran's heart is beating fast. Her request has been sent to heaven, not to the broken heaven, but to the law of Tao. The golden book and the stamp of the Dragon King, including her request, are all a kind of procedure. The first 2 are just things of the heaven. They become tools to transmit information because they are contaminated with fairy energy. The so-called equivalent exchange is all in her request. Exchange with the power of faith for the mortal Han Weia and the mortal Weir. Colin Weir shapes the Taoist route. A golden light shines from the sky and goes straight to the Mount June island of Dongting. At that time, Lu Qingdai is acting as an oracle. She conveys Mortal Heart Fairy's next plan to believers. Suddenly she is bathed in the golden light, which makes Lu Qingdai more worthy of being an oracle. The golden light ignores the barrier of the Dragon Palace and finally shines on Lin Luoren. She feels that most of the faith light groups in her ocean of consciousness are suddenly taken away. She hasn't had time to refine the new power of faith she got today. Tao of nature takes advantage of it. The illusory pavilions in her ocean of consciousness are dim, and even the fly Apsara's painted sculpture is a little shaky. The price is so high. Lin Luoren's face turns pale. She almost thinks that her godhead will be broken on the spot. The golden light finally stops absorbing. Her whole body is stiff. She barely hits the three of them with the golden light. She only has time to say, "building the foundation," and then she passes out. Before her spiritual mind is separated from her five senses, she feels that Ma Shuangshuang catches her. As for what Ma Shuangshuang shouts in her ear, she doesn't hear it. Lin Luoren seems to hear someone calling her an idiot in a daze. She feels the voice is very familiar, but she can't remember it for a moment. The golden light twines around Ma Yiming, Han Weiya, and Weir. Colin Weir moves around the three of them. A force seems to be replicating or stripping something from Ma Yiming's body. Until the golden light disappears, the three of them fall heavily to the ground. Lin Luoren has slept for 7 days. She doesn't dream. When she wakes up, she still feels a little headache. She tragically finds that she can use her spiritual mind, but she can't peek into the ocean of consciousness for the time being. Thinking that someone called her an idiot before she passed out, she shudders. Now thinking about it, it seems to be the voice of the man in robe who taught in her dream. No way. In her impression, how can such a person be flustered and exasperated? Lin Luoren feels that she has an auditory hallucination. She opens the pink light cigarette curtain and 4 pairs of eyes stare at her with tears. Aunt Lin. Mississippi, Ma Shuangshuang hurries forward to pull up the curtain. Lin Luoren laughs. I am not so sick that I can't get up. After asking about the situation, Lin Luoren is a little happy. It seems that building the foundation is feasible. Come on, let me see your attributes. She waves her hand to attract Reiki of the 5 elements of heaven and earth, surrounding Han Weiya and Weir. By Colin Weir's side. Taking Ma Yiming as the template for building the foundation, the two may have the Taoist root of 4 elements. If they are lucky, it will be a surprise if they have the 2 elements with the least Taoist root. She doesn't take Ma Shuangshuang as the template because she has the Taoist root of 2 elements. As a result, the person who is going to build the foundation may only copy one of her Taoist root and become a genius of a single element. This is too amazing. Lin Luoren has no confidence at all to succeed. She can't even enter the ocean of consciousness with 4 elements. If she has a single element, she might as well kill herself directly. Reiki molecules of the 5 elements fly around Han Weiya and Colin. The Taoist root determines their future of personal ability enhancement. Before the result is found, both of them are extremely nervous. Chapter 496. Reiki molecules of the 5 elements surround Han Weiya and Colin. Green wood Reiki molecules rush to Han Weiya, brown earth, and blue water. Han Weiya has the Taoist root of wood, earth, and water. Colin is luckier. He gets the Taoist root of gold and earth, 2 Taoist roots. He is already talented in personal ability enhancement. Colin's good luck is despised by everyone. Ma Yiming scratches his head. It seems that his Taoist root of 4 elements is the worst. Fortunately, there are 3 bone marrow cleansing bolus. One is for Han Weiya, one is for Ma Yiming, and the other is kept by Lin Luoren. Bone marrow cleansing bolus can't change a cultivator's Taoist root. It can only make cultivators with the Taoist root of 4 elements catch up with those with the Taoist root of 3 elements. It is only useful in the early stage of personal ability enhancement. The success of the foundation building, including the distribution of the marrow cleansing pill, was a happy result. Ma Shuangshuang has the highest personal ability among the 4. She has the Taoist root of 2 elements. After 5 years, she has no shortage of elixirs and spirit stones. She has successfully laid foundation before returning to the earth. She has become a real female cultivator in the laying foundation period. Ma Yiming originally has the Taoist root of 4 elements. His personal ability enhancement talent is much slower than Han Weiya's. He is only in the middle period of training Qi. As for Han Weiya, she has no Taoist root. She has learned alchemy in 5 years, but she can't even command the alchemy furnace. Now that she has laid foundation, she is ready to practice hard so that she can practice the alchemy passed down by Danling Taoist. Without Lin Luoran's order, no one dares to accept the 3 starships outside Dongting City. They are still in the open space outside Dongting City. It has been 7 days since the Miaoyin Spell Conference ended. The crowd on Mount June Island has dispersed. The Lu family, represented by Lu Qingdai, is waiting for Lin Luoran's order. Before Lin Luoran entered the Dragon Palace, she once talked about the Earth transformation plan. The ozone layer is not impossible to create. With the level of civilization of the Nami Alliance, this technology has long been solved. Otherwise, the Nami star wouldn't have been rebuilt after the war 1,000 years ago. All creatures on the Earth can't survive without sunlight. Sunlight is composed of visible light, ultraviolet light, and infrared light. Half of the sunlight entering the atmosphere can penetrate the atmosphere and illuminate the Earth and the ocean. This is the photosynthesis of green plants, which provides oxygen power for human beings. However, the shortwave ultraviolet rays in ultraviolet rays are harmful to human beings and creatures. The ozone layer is a natural barrier to isolate shortwave ultraviolet rays. What was difficult was not the creation of the ozone layer, but its maintenance. After the formation of ozone, its specific gravity was greater than that of oxygen, so it would gradually descend to the bottom of the ozone layer. As the temperature rose during its descent, the instability of ozone would become obvious. Then, after being irradiated by long-wave ultraviolet rays, it would once again be reduced to oxygen. The ozone layer protected this dynamic balance between oxygen and ozone. In addition to protecting the animals and plants on the Earth from shortwave ultraviolet rays, Lin Luoran believes that the ubiquitous gray fog that completely repels Reiki has something to do with the ozone layer. The most important task was to stabilize the ozone layer and restore the vegetation on the surface. Without oxygen-producing plants, the artificial ozone layer will soon disappear. Lin feels that there is still a long way to go to make plants grow on the scorched land. However, she can provide a lot of species. Great changes have taken place in Lin's space. The cottage was still the same, and the spiritual fields were still the same. What had changed were the 2 mountains and the lake. Lin Luoran transplanted many trees to the mountains and they grew well. However, last time she went to the wild planet with Danling Taoist legacy and prepared to transplant some species to the 2 mountains. A red-tailed monkey was moved in with a branch. Yes, she realized that the 2 mountains and the lake could now support living things after losing the benefit of accelerating ripening. Big black bears, small ants, birds with wings, fish, shrimps, and shellfish in the lake. Except for Lin Luoran, humans are still not allowed to enter. The 2 mountains and the lake outside the spiritual fields are evolving to a complete biological chain. With this as the price, she faintly feels that no matter how high her personal ability is in the future, the spiritual fields and the cottage will not change. In fact, she is not a greedy person. Such a large area of the spiritual fields is enough. Lin Luoran is looking forward to the growth of the space outside the spiritual fields. When the white fog dissipates little by little, will she finally get a small world? Wood Wolf despises her whimsical idea without a trace. Fire Phoenix laughs at her personal ability. She hasn't completely unlocked the space seal after about 1,000 years. Lin Luoran really wants to say to the 2 of them, "You bastards." Lin Luoran comes down from the mountain. She waves goodbye to a monkey that bumps into the transparent enchantment and leaves the space with many seeds she has prepared. Grains and vegetable seeds that can be used as food are part of it. She has also bred a batch of saplings in the spiritual fields, including various fruit trees, ornamental trees, and shrubs. They are all half-grown saplings of 3 years old. After seedling, they are all planted on the mountains. Lin Luoran is not sure if they can resist the harsh environment of the Earth. She only hopes that the result will not be too bad. Out of the space, Lin Luoran meets Lu Qingdai and an old acquaintance on Mount Jun Island, the former mayor of Dongting, Pang Xianzhong. She thinks that Pang Xianzhong is here for the 3 starships. In fact, Pang Xianzhong is interested in the environmental transformation plan. To be more precise, the political decision-makers of the Earth Federation, who Lin Luoran has never contacted, are led by Pang Xianzhong. They are ready to cooperate with Lin Luoran. Mount Jun Island is sealed and the Lu family is forced to move to the Moonstar. Lin Luoran doesn't bother to investigate it. Although she doesn't like to be involved with politics, both sides have the same purpose. Lin Luoran is not opposed to cooperation. After many years, she looks at the same thing again from a certain level. Her mentality is different and she is also much calmer. Mr. Pang, can you help me find a place to store the 3 starships? Lin Luoran doesn't want to compete for interstellar hegemony. She just doesn't want others to bully this planet casually. She doesn't mind where to put multifunctional things like land and air like starships. Therefore, her attitude is very casual. To rebuild the scorched earth, in addition to improved plant seeds, early bunkers are indispensable. Since Mr. Pang said that the Earth Federation is willing to help, I will leave this matter to you. Pang Xianzhong is meticulous and he never fights a battle he is not sure of. He also answers the key points Lin Luoran asks clearly and logically. He doesn't mention that bunkers are sold according to the regulations of the Alpha Alliance. It is estimated that after the Dongting incident, the Alpha Alliance will be so angry that many items will be restricted to the Earth Federation. If it is someone else, these difficulties will become the capital of negotiation. However, Pang Xianzhong doesn't mention it in front of Lin Luoran. Qingdai, do you have any idea about the cultivation center I asked you to rent? Those saplings and all kinds of seeds can't be piled up casually. Without special care, they can't be planted. The seeds are fine, but the saplings must have died long ago. Chapter 497. It turns out that the so-called bunker is a special metal ring buried deep in the soil. Under the action of magnetic force, when the instrument officially runs, it will form a semi-solid air shield. This is the case in several surviving federal gathering places on the Earth. However, in places with chaotic atmosphere such as Moonstar, more advanced bunkers are needed. The construction of these bunkers also needs energy support. Inspired by the magical weapons many years ago, the Earth Federation uses the inner boluses of mutant monsters. The bunker was soon in place. There were many volunteers who did not need to be paid for the reconstruction project. Some teams of agriculturalists were stationed there. Some white-haired old men were crying as they held many species that had died out in the war. More people stared at the small saplings as if they could see the bright future of green trees. In fact, in the past 300 years, the Earth Federation of the New Era has done a lot of research on how to restore the Earth's land. One of the most effective ways is to bury the expensive inner boluses of mutant monsters under the soil. If the plant seedlings are strong enough, they can survive the initial suffering period. Although the fruits may be inedible, the harmful substances in the mutated land can be improved after a few generations of planting. Although the effect is the most obvious, the cost is high enough to make the Earth Federation flinch. After all, Reiki is the gray mist invisible to the naked eye. It kills the organic matter in the soil. Reiki is the most effective thing to deal with the gray mist. Many years ago, when Baojia was seriously injured and lying on the operating table, Lin Luoran understood this. However, Lin Luoran does not intend to follow the proposal of the agricultural scholars in the experimental field this time. There are so many inner boluses of mutant monsters. Even if she is asked to kill them, her hands will be numb. She has something better. Liao hinted that her mother lode of the 5 elements can come in handy. Lin Luoran remembers that she has never talked about the mother lode of the 5 elements in front of Liao. Liao talks mysteriously all day long as if he knows her situation very well. Now he and Cyan Little Fox have gone to the former Weifang in Shandong. Liao has not given up on the Green Mountains country yet. Lin Luoran doesn't know when they can come back. After the volunteers clean up the mutant monsters, they successfully install bunkers and build defenses. Lin Luoran chooses a night to put the mother lode of the 5 elements into the ground and drives away the gray mist in the experimental field. When the soil quality is improved and plants can survive, she can take back the mother lode and start to transform the second area. What made her a little worried was that the gray fog that was chased away only ran to somewhere else and did not disappear. It seemed that Reiki could only fight against the gray fog, but not destroy it. If this continued, the gray fog on Earth would gather together. If she couldn't find a solution by then, the situation might be worse than today. Sure enough, everything had its risks. Lin Luoran disguises herself as an ordinary rebuilder and plants a locust tree on a hill outside Dongting City. The quality of the groundwater has changed a long time ago. Water from Dongting Lake has to be used for irrigation. An artificial lake has been built in the low-lying area. Some small fish and shrimps are attracted here and stranded in the place where the lake water has been. The volunteers don't eat them as Lin Luoran expected. Instead, they take the initiative to set the fish and shrimps free. They are better than she thought. Volunteers work for free. Most of their food is provided by the federal government. Occasionally, some wealthy big businesses will give volunteers extra meals. For example, today, the Han family, an interstellar merchant family in the 8th district of Moonstar, provides 1,000 pounds of white flour. The chopping board and the big pot are placed in the wilderness. Volunteers who are good at cooking take the initiative to cook. They knead the dough and make a fire. More than 100 people steamed buns and made dumplings together. There are too many monks but not enough porridge. Some people get extra meals and some don't even feel that there is no soup left in the pot. Those who don't get to eat are not angry. Anyway, they are just having fun. In a call, Han Kueisheng watches Han Weiya carefully planting some pine trees. He feels a little distressed. Weiya, do cultivators also have to farm? Han Weiya nods. After asking Aunt Lin's opinion, the federal citizens can apply for an experimental field in the reconstruction area. Half of the field can be planted with greening plants and the other half can be planted with cash crops. As long as the field is planted for more than 10 years, it will be registered under the name of the citizen. Dad, although this land is remote, it is not easy for me to apply for it. Han Kueisheng just knows that the Aunt Lin, mentioned by his daughter, is Mortal Heart Fairy. Han Kueisheng sweats profusely when he hears Han Weiya's way of calling Mortal Heart Fairy the same as him. Seeing that Han Kueisheng is absent-minded, Han Weiya hands him a glass of water. Dad, this policy is very promising. There is nothing wrong with farming. Most of the work is done by agricultural robots. However, if we have a private land, I think you can mobilize some people. Our Han family can't leave our hometown for a lifetime. It's boring to stay in the Moonstar. Han Weiya counts her fingers and tells Han Kueisheng all the benefits. Han Weiya is very happy that his daughter has grown up a lot. He regards her as an adult and regards her proposal as an equal conversation between adults. He thinks it is quite desirable. It's a pity that the first application for the experimental field in the reconstruction area has already been issued. Because the news is so sudden, many forces of the Earth Federation are caught off guard. The Han family doesn't get a place and others are not much better. However, such opportunities for private land will only become fewer and fewer in the future. Han Kueisheng also feels a little regretful. Even if he can apply for it, it doesn't make much sense to go to a place far away from Dongting City. Everyone knows that the Mount June Taoist field is going to stay in Dongting City. Han Kueisheng grabs the shovel in his daughter's hand and digs a hole on the hillside. Han Weiya smiles sweetly and plants the small pine tree in the hole dug by her father. She is busy until the evening. Pine trees are planted on this scorched land. Han Weiya's dream is to have a pine forest of her own. Watering and fertilizing, Han Weiya's nose is full of sweat. The saplings, seeds and fertilizers received for the first time are all free. The Han family is not short of money, but Han Weiya still hopes to plant successfully for the first time. The siblings of the Ma family and Colin all have their own experimental fields. She doesn't want to lose to her friends. It gets dark and the Ma family's villa becomes lively again. Compared with the cold dragon palace, the Ma family's villa is much warmer. Anyway, no one can imagine that mortal heart fairy lives next to Dongting people. People of Ma Yiming's generation have never farmed by themselves since they were born. The scorched land is hard. Although they have the help of robots, they still work harder than farmers before the new era. If they don't have a strong body, they really can't bear this hardship. The four young people wash off their sweat and exchange some farming experience. Lin Luoran has already asked them to eat with a smile. The calabash fruit in front of the yard is a little sour when eaten raw. It tastes crisp and sour with some garlic sauce, just like eating pickled cucumber strips. Fried water spinach, braised pork with dried vegetables, and steamed eggplant with green peppers are all home-cooked dishes. Without the picky and poisonous cyan little fox, Lin Luoran's casual cooking is very popular. Even Han Weya and Ma Shuangshuang eat 2 bowls of rice. After eating, the four take the initiative to clean up the dishes and are about to go back to the room to cultivate. Lin Luoran stops them. I will go to the center of Chuan province in 2 days. I don't know when I will return. Dongting City's affairs are all yours. Contact me if there is an emergency. Colin nods. Shall I go with you? Lin Luoran refuses. After the Miaoyin spell conference, Baojia leaves quietly. Except for the center of Chuan province, Lin Luoran can't guess where she will go. Chapter 498. The air is filled with the smell of scorched earth that makes people panic. Oxygen is thin, pollution and radiation are serious. When humans walk outside the Earth's settlements, they need to take anti-radiation treatment, wear gas masks and carry compressed oxygen equipment. In short, it is not easy to make money by hunting mutant monsters. Only cultivators like Lin Luoran can expose themselves to radiation and polluted air and walk freely on today's Earth. Rong City in the center of Chuan province contains the memory of the first half of Lin Luoran's life. From birth to cultivation, this city generally brings her happiness. It is not until she returns from Mount Penglai that everything changes dramatically, including her impression of Rong City. While feeling sad, she also wants to escape. If Baojia doesn't come back here, she has no plan to come back in a short time. She finds the place where Qingqing Taoist Temple used to be and finds that it has been cleaned up. A small illusion circle covers the hole under Qingqing Taoist Temple. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether it is because of lack of spirit stones or because she has a broad vision now. She can easily find the magic circle eye of the illusion circle. This illusion circle can only prevent mutant monsters from running around. White Fairy floats out like smoke. She takes a look and points out the way for Lin Luoran. Baojia is not here. There is another living person in the cave. Lin Luoran follows White Fairy's instructions. She doesn't destroy the illusion circle and walks in slowly. The stones at the entrance are cleared and the green cave entrance is revealed. She goes down the steps and remembers that she found Commander Qin with a nervous face that year. Lu Zheng and the crazy Taoist were also there. The four of them personally put Baojia in the hollowed-out tree hole of the soul wood, and she slept for many years. The upheaval of the earth has obviously affected Baojia. At this time, she is more like a new independent personality after waking up rather than forgetting the past. Even though Lin Luoran is a gathering vitality cultivator, she doesn't know how to face Baojia, who has a completely different personality. There is no light in the cave. Several glowing crystals are inlaid on the mountain wall. The light is soft and refreshing. Walking to the bottom, Lin Luoran sees a young man with timid eyes and a guarded face. Lin Luoran has mixed feelings. It is Duke Chao. To be precise, he is the former Duke Chao. The bottom of the cave was cleaned and covered with a mattress made of mutant wolf skin. Hidalgo Frank, former Duke of Chio. He is not stupid anymore. His eyes are innocent. Lin Luoran feels strange. White Fairy looks at him and says, "He is as smart as a toddler now." Lin Luoran frowns. When she made the decision, she didn't expect that Baojia would value Frank so much that she even took him away from the Nami star. White Fairy asks for her opinion before she does it. Soul-searching spell and illusion spell that White Fairy is good at. As an ordinary person, Frank is just a fool. It is already a very light sequela. This is the reason why White Fairy stopped her from using the soul-searching spell on the bank of Dongting Lake. After all, they are two innocent ordinary people. They are not enemies. Lin Luoran has mixed feelings. Although she doesn't feel guilty, what should she say when she finds Baojia? What happened to Frank has happened. If Baojia makes one of the siblings of the Ma family like this, she can't pretend that nothing has happened. She is about to leave quietly when the illusion circle is triggered. Baojia is back. Baojia is holding a skinned mutant rabbit in her hand. Standing on the high steps, she looks down at her coldly. What are you doing here? Baojia's attitude towards Lin Luoran is not friendly. However, she treats White Fairy coldly with disgust. Lin Luoran nods at White Fairy. She returns to the space wisely. I come to thank you for your help in Dongting that day. Baojia's face softens a little. Even if I didn't go, you wouldn't have lost. Don't get me wrong. I just hate people who show off. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. The reborn Baojia is very mean. Easing the relationship can't be rushed. Lin Luoran's purpose today is achieved after confirming that Baojia is really in Mount Qingqing. She bows her hands and says goodbye. When she passes by Baojia on the steps, she clearly feels that Frank's tense body is relaxed. The former Duke Chao, whose IQ has degenerated to a few years old, pulls Baojia's sleeve and whispers something. Baojia is very patient to comfort him. There is a deep affection between them. Lin Luoran gets out of the illusion circle. When she is about to leave, the water ripples in the circle and Baojia chases after her. Wait a minute. Lin Luoran is stunned and uneasy. She is not sure whether Baojia is going to ask her not to come again. Baojia hesitates. After a long time, she takes out 2 jade maps. This one has been with me since I woke up. It records an unknown spell and magic circle knowledge. Baojia raises the other jade map. This one was found at the bottom of the cave after I returned to the earth. It records sword-riding skills, spells of the 5 elements, even talisman skills, common spirit herbs and elixirs, and various common knowledge of the world of cultivation. The person who left the jade map said that I can only find the second one when I return to the earth again. It is the crazy Taoist. Lin Luoran can be sure without taking over the jade map. Only 4 people were present to send Baojia into the soul wood that year. Only the crazy Taoist can do such a seemingly absurd but wise thing, right? 1 jade map is with Baojia so that she will not be unarmed when she wakes up. The other jade map is found after she returns to the earth. The crazy Taoist must have arranged this for a reason. Lin Luoran is silent for a while. There seems to be only one explanation. The crazy Taoist knows that something will happen to the earth. On the day Baojia wakes up, neither he nor Lin Luoran will be with Baojia. The second jade map appears because Baojia returns to the earth. The truth is clear. Baojia returns to the earth because she wants to recover her memories? Do you mind walking around the city with me? Lin Luoran doesn't expose Baojia's mind. She invites her with a smile. Baojia hesitates for a while and nods. Lin Luoran takes Baojia down the mountain slowly. In fact, 300 years after the drastic changes on the earth, she is satisfied to have the opportunity to walk side by side with her old friend. Qingqing Villa has become a ruin. A nest of mutant cockroaches has occupied the former number 18 villa of Qingqing Villa. Lin Luoran doesn't deliberately talk about Baojia's former identity. She just talks about some interesting things that happened in Qingqing Villa. Baojia helped to take care of Mr. and Mrs. Lin for 3 years. They go all the way to the city. Of course, the folk street is not as beautiful as it used to be. The vermilion gate of Lin's house is rotten. Lin Luoran points to the village and says, "This is another yard of Lin's family. You encouraged me to buy it." There are only withered bamboo roots buried under the rubble on the island. The amazing Ming and Qing dynasty mansion has changed beyond recognition. When they came here for the first time, Master Jia made Yunwu fragrant dumplings with shrimps for them to eat. There was also the roasted ham with bamboo shoots produced on the island. Thinking about it, it feels like it happened in her previous life. It sounds like you had a good life in the past. Baojia speaks for the first time. She can't tell whether she is happy or angry. Lin Luoran shakes her head. Lin's family started self-cultivation. We moved from the countryside to the city. Your grandfather was the commander of the military division. You grew up in the capital. I have always cherished being friends with you. Baojia is surprised. Did she have a grandfather in the past? Baojia is about to ask in detail when she suddenly notices a huge wave of wood reiki erupting not far away. Lin Luoran also looks in the same direction. The green light has not dissipated yet. The wave of wood reiki not only alarmed the two cultivators but also a large number of mutant beasts living in the city. Even though the city has collapsed, Lin Luoran's extraordinary memory and eyesight still remind her of the place where the green light has not dissipated. It is the courtyard where Yang Lisha sold flowers. Lin Luoran and Baojia stand side by side in a pile of broken bricks. The green light shrouds the place. Something seems to be coming up to the ground. However, it doesn't succeed because of the debris piled up like a mountain on the ground. Do you know this place? Lin Luoran nods and keeps staring at the movement on the ground. Mutant beasts are roaring not far away. However, they are afraid of Lin Luoran and Baojia's powerful momentum and dare not go forward. The green light is very peaceful without any violence. The environment on the earth can't breed any natural treasures. Besides, this is the place where Yang Lisha opened her flower shop. Is the female monster coming out? Lin Luoran has an idea. She sweeps away the stones and bricks piled up on the original site. After a while, the green light finally breaks through the imprisonment of the scorched earth and emerges from the ground. A big crack appears on the ground. A luxuriant acacia tree emerges from the ground and slowly stretches its branches and leaves. Mutant beasts are restless. The spirit tree with abundant wood reiki is more tempting to them than ginseng fruit. Some mutant beasts are ready to challenge Lin Luoran's coercion. Lin Luoran ignores the mutant beasts. Her eyes fall on the green vines entwining the trunk of the acacia tree. Shisandra. Why does Yang Lisha return to her original body? The acacia tree shakes its leaves and a thick green mist spreads. When the green mist disperses, there is only a young man in a yellow robe left on the ground. He has a beautiful androgynous face. Lin Luoran's old acquaintance, the female monster Yang Lisha, whose original body is Shisandra, loses the thing that clings to her. She falls on the ground and is still a green vine. The young man stands quietly for a while. It seems that he remembers the past. The confusion in his eyes disappears. He looks down at the green vine and tears fall. Chapter 499. The young man in yellow has a very androgynous face. However, Lin Luoran can recognize that she is a woman as soon as she speaks, even though her voice is also a little low. A female monster whose original body is the acacia tree? The acacia tree whose original body was on the verge of collapse was actually saved by Yang Lisha. In addition to the soul wood, Yang Lisha's personal ability was also sacrificed. Looking at Yang Lisha, who has returned to the original body of Shisandra, Lin Luoran can't judge whether it is worth it. Even though she is rational, Lin Luoran is not sure whether she will do such an extremely stupid thing for the sake of the people she cares about. Are you Voidy? Lin Luoran vaguely remembers that Yang Lisha did call her Voidy when she shouted at her angrily and forced her to fulfill the agreement. Lin Luoran thinks that the person Yang Lisha can't let go must be a male monster. Just like when she was young, the most touching thing in the world was love. Unexpectedly, the Voidy Yang Lisha talks about is a female monster who is more dazzling than ordinary men in the world. She wears a light yellow dress and her hair is simply standing up. She is different from the androgynous dress Lin Luoran wore at the Miaoyin spell conference in Dongting that night. The temperament of Voidy makes it hard to tell whether she is a man or a woman. She seems to break the shackles of time and suddenly step into the new era of the Earth from the Wei and Jin dynasties. That's right. Lin Luoren finally finds an adjective. The female monster called Voidy, which is transformed by the acacia tree. She doesn't have the sentimental temperament of the acacia tree at all. Instead, she exudes a kind of uninhibited celebrity from the inside out. Voidy just glances at Lin Luoren without saying a word. She turns around and leaves with Yang Lisha's original body, Shisandra. Baojia frowns. Although she has mixed feelings when facing Lin Luoren, being ignored like this is like a slap in the face. Lin Luoren stops her and shakes her head. The acacia tree monster is also a sad person at the moment. They should be considerate. Even if there is a conflict, Lin Luoren will not let Baojia fight unless it is necessary. Just like she couldn't see through Yang Lisha in the past, she still can't see through Voidy now that she has gathering vitality. Rong City is no longer the leisurely city it used to be. Besides, it is disturbed by the transformation of the acacia tree. The conversation between Lin Luoren and Baojia is interrupted. Both of them know that they have lost this opportunity and they don't want to talk about it in depth. The atmosphere is a little awkward. Lin Luoren feels that she can't speak properly. The two are in a stalemate. In the gray mist of the old Rong City, a white paper crane slowly flies over. Lin Luoren reaches out to catch it. The white wings of the paper crane are stained with gray mist. It is not as light as before. Lin Luoren unfolds the paper crane and glances at the few words written on it. She frowns unconsciously. Baojia is very close to it and accidentally sees the content of the paper crane. She is relieved. Since you are going to the Green Mountains, let's say goodbye here. Lin Luoren nods subconsciously. A gust of wind suddenly blows beside him, making him close his eyes unconsciously. When he opens his eyes again, the acacia tree monster in a yellow robe stands quietly in front of him. It asks in a hoarse voice, "Are you going to the Green Mountains country?" It looks Lin Luoren up and down. With the current environment of the Earth Star, a female cultivator who can cultivate to the gathering vitality period may be really something. However, the Green Mountains country was lost in the long river of time before she could transform. How can this female cultivator talk about it? Lin Luoren responds to Voidy with a faint supercilious look. She wants to go to the Green Mountains country. It has nothing to do with this tree monster. The female monster doesn't bother to talk to her. Lin Luoren doesn't have to be so thick-skinned to stick to it. After all, it was Yang Lisha who had some friendship with her in the past, not this Voidy. Baojia feels that an eye for an eye. She smiles and feels that her previous grievances are swept away. She becomes very happy. However, Voidy doesn't care too much. She really doesn't care about trifles like a famous scholar in the Wei and Jin dynasty. She reintroduces herself to Lin Luoren. "My name is Unscented." Unscented. The acacia tree actually has fragrance when it blooms. It just needs to be calm to smell it. Lin Luoren looks at the 5-flavor vine wrapped around Unscented's wrist. She remembers her friendship with Yang Lisha when they went to the Tower of Babel and traveled through ancient Babylon. Her previous unhappiness disappears and she nods. Lin Luoren. Unscented suddenly realizes, "It's you." Before she transforms again, she has been sober with the energy of the soul wood and the silly girl. The girl mentioned the name Lin Luoren in front of her, but it was not a good thing. Yang Lisha was just worried that Unscented's realm would be unstable after the transformation. Yang Lisha told Unscented that Lin Luoren could take out 2 soul wood and she might have a third. Monsters don't have the hypocrisy and shame of the human race. Unscented doesn't think what Yang Lisha did is wrong. However, if she wants to go to the Green Mountains now, she has to rely on Lin Luoren. Unscented can only give up Yang Lisha's plan. Monsters have no moral shackles, but it doesn't mean that they are a group of heartless beasts who bite the hand that feeds them. I wonder if fellow cultivator Lin can do me a little favor? Lin Luoren thinks for a while and nods. Baojia is a little angry. She thinks Lin Luoren is too soft. She gives up her previous prejudice when others show a little kindness. Baojia, who now changes her name to Nolan Mancia, doesn't realize that if it weren't for Lin Luoran's good temper, how could they talk easily after what happened in Nami Star? Lin Luoran doesn't understand Baojia's thoughts. The tree monster Unscented's personal ability is unfathomable. Lin Luoran is not sure that she can win. There is no deep hatred between them. In fact, they even have some history. It is not shameful for both of them to take a step back. With such an idea, Lin Luoran can nod calmly. We are all cultivators. You don't have to be so polite. Weifang, Shandong. Mancia Nolan Mancia goes all the way from Rong City to Dongting. She hires professionals to take care of Frank and then hurries to Weifang, Shandong with Lin Luoran. Looking at the man and the monster talking and laughing side by side, Nolan Mancia convinces herself that she just doesn't like the arrogance of the tree monster. It is definitely not because she is protective. Even though she has completely forgotten Lin Luoran, her old friend, Lin Luoran, is a good person. She selfishly doesn't want Lin Luoran to be deceived by the monster. Besides, the tree monster looks neither male nor female. Nolan Mancia is silent all the way. She doesn't hide her unhappiness. Fellow cultivator Lin, is this the place? Unscented closes her eyes. The scorched earth is glowing with rich Reiki. Mutant monsters have completely occupied the scorched slope where Reiki is leaking. Seeing Lin Luoran and others, they stare at them covetously, treating them as powerful unknown creatures who come to snatch their territory. Lin Luoran has sharp eyes. At the feet of a mutant elephant, she finds a touch of stimulating green on the scorched earth. It is an ordinary dandelion seedling before the new era, but now it is really growing on the scorched earth of the new era earth. The Reiki leakage is so serious. There must be a big turbulence in the Green Mountains. Lin Luoran doesn't know how Liao and Cyan Little Fox are doing. Lin Luoran is worried. In addition to the time wasted by the paper crane on the way, the situation of the Green Mountains may be worse. What makes her anxious is that even if she gets the way to enter, she still has to wait until night. I hope there will be a moon tonight. The power of moonlight will be at its peak when the weather is sunny at night. Lin Luoran is not a survivor of the Green Mountains. If she hadn't been with Cyan Little Fox for many years, she wouldn't have been able to enter even if she tried her best. Two people and a monster are all cultivators. Half a day is not enough to affect their state of mind and make them impatient. The night soon falls, and the Reiki light spots flying around become clearer. Lin Luoran looks at the sky. She has to use the same trick again. Just like the night of the Miaoying Spell Conference, she draws the moonlight down through layers of dirty air. She also borrows the 10,000-year hollow azurite from White Fairy. This is also the Green Mountain Stone, produced in the Green Mountains. It is stained with the breath of the Green Mountains and will not dissipate for thousands of years. Lin Luoran can't smell it, but the Green Mountains world can sense it. The moonlight shines on the 10,000-year hollow azurite and twines the blue stone. In a stream of light, the mutant beasts occupying this place are disturbed. Seeing those mutant beasts rushing over, Baojia just raises her eyebrows. Unscented whispers to those mutant beasts, "Freeze," and they are all frozen in place. The previous shrieks of the wind and cranes disappear completely. It is so quiet that no crickets can be heard within a radius of 10 miles. There is no fluctuation of Reiki. Baojia feels cold on her back. She finally understands why Lin Luoran doesn't let her be impulsive. Lin Luoran glimpses the movement of the tree monster out of the corner of her eye, and her eyebrows also twitch slightly. She has studied the freeze spell for a long time. It is certainly possible to freeze the weak existence of mutant beasts, but to freeze such a large area? Lin Luoran shakes her head secretly. She needs another 10 years of practice. The 10,000-year hollow azurite leaps into the air, turns in the air like a compass, and pounces on the dandelion sprout which is trampled by the mutant elephant. The wind suddenly rises, and the space is distorted. Half of the 10,000-year hollow azurite has disappeared in the invisible wall of light refraction. Seeing that it is about to disappear, Lin Luoran firmly holds the remaining section and backhandedly grabs Baojia's arm. Go! Chapter 500. The light is refracted and twisted, passing through the colorful tunnel. The tearing force of space makes Lin Luoran let go of Baojia's arm unconsciously. A light flashes in front of her, and then she steps on nothing. With a plop, she falls into a wet and cold place. The tearing force makes her dizzy. As soon as her toes are wet in the pool water, she has jumped up gently. However, her shoes and socks are just wet. She stops above a steamy and quiet lake. The shallow water is slightly rippling, and there are small fish swimming under the waves. Time is quiet, and there are kingfishers singing from the distant lake shore. It is the beauty of the natural mountains without artificial carving. Is this the Green Mountains country? The abundance of Reiki here can be compared with the Bermuda secret land. Including the Penglai fairyland, she knows 3 excellent places for cultivation. Cultivators on the earth are not without a way out. It's just that ordinary cultivators can't find the entrance to the blessed land easily because they don't have good luck. Lin Luoran is still holding the 10,000-year hollow azurite in her left hand. However, she doesn't see Baojia and Unscented after looking around. She doesn't know where they are. She smiles helplessly and returns the 10,000-year hollow azurite to White Fairy. She takes out a piece of white paper from space. Lin Luoran's fingertips turn flexibly, and the white paper has become a small paper crane. She murmurs and makes a strange gesture with both hands. Seeing that the paper crane is about to fly again, she bites her middle finger and squeezes a drop of essence blood into the paper crane. When the blood light fades, she shows the appearance of Cyan Little Fox and Liao in the void again. She pinches them into fog beads and also submerges them into the paper crane. It is easy to ask a paper crane to deliver a letter. However, it needs to be nourished by the spiritual mind of the person who folded the paper crane. Only when the paper crane is released by others can it find the owner accurately. If she wants to find people by paper cranes in the vast world, the only way is to use the person's hair and skin as a medium, or the essence blood of the caster. The higher the personal ability of the caster, the more accurate the range of the paper crane will be. Lin Luoran is not completely sure, but she hopes this method works. When the paper crane spreads its wings and flies up under a mysterious force, Lin Luoran also follows it with the wind. Reiki is abundant here. The paper crane is carrying a heavy responsibility, so it doesn't fly fast. Lin Luoran leaves the lake unhurriedly and follows it. She has a panoramic view of this place. The higher he flew, the clouds floated by his side, and the mountains passed under his feet. Layers upon layers of green mist, any mountain forest had an indescribable charm, luring people who had been rolling around in the world to build a hut and live there. The Green Mountains world is really a paradise. No wonder Liao can't forget it. Lin Luoran lowers her head. When she reunites with her family one day, she will either find a barbarian star with abundant Reiki or find a secret place comparable to the Green Mountains world. From then on, she will farm and cultivate. When she is free, she will travel all over the world and travel among the stars. After solving the problem in the Green Mountains, Lin Luoran makes up her mind to gather the Taoist root of the 5 elements as soon as possible. The paper crane flies very slowly. Lin Luoran checks along the way. The Green Mountains world is rich in species. There are exotic flowers and grasses, snakes and insects everywhere. In addition to ordinary beasts, there are also many rare beasts. However, she doesn't find any monster with personal ability. She feels strange. Even if they can't develop sapience, there should be a lot of beasts accepting spirits into their bodies after staying in a place like the Green Mountains for a long time. Lin Luoran makes a note of this unreasonable place and strengthens her vigilance. The paper crane has been flying for 2 days and it has no strength to continue. Its wings stop and it is about to fall. Lin Luoran catches it. The land of a world is naturally vast. Lin Luoran doesn't expect to find the end in 2 days. However, when she drops her essence blood again, the paper crane, which was originally safe, suddenly burns without fire and turns into ashes in front of Lin Luoran. It's kind of interesting. In the space, Fire Phoenix used to have the highest personal ability and the closest connection with space. Since Lin Luoran entered the Green Mountains world, Fire Phoenix has been paying attention to the situation outside. The Green Mountains are totally different from its previous impression. When the paper crane burns without fire, Fire Phoenix finally can't help but marvel. Lin Luoran has an idea. Fire Phoenix, have you been to the Green Mountains world before? Fire Phoenix laughs. When I came, the Green Mountains and the Earth today belonged to the wilderness. There was no distinction between worlds. Those damn foxes were clever and cunning. They separated the Green Mountains from the wilderness with external forces. You see, the Earth is coming to an end, but the Green Mountains are still full of Reiki and have been preserved. Fire Phoenix's words give Lin Luoran an idea. Why did the nine-tailed fox family make the Green Mountains a world of its own and separate it from the wilderness? The Earth's Reiki declined and entered the Age of Chaos, but the Green Mountains were preserved. Did the nine-tailed fox family know that the Earth would have such a day? Fire Phoenix is shocked. How is it possible? This news can't be leaked at all. It blurts out and then closes its mouth. Lin Luoran still catches the faulty wording. She flashes into space and pulls Fire Phoenix out. What news? What do you know? Fire Phoenix's words are evasive. I have been sleeping for a long time. I don't know anything. Lin Luoran narrows her eyes and strangles its neck. Fire Phoenix screams, I really don't know. Let go of me. Damn it. Since Lin Luoran cultivated the primordial spirit after gathering vitality, she also has a way to deal with souls of departed like them. Fire Phoenix is so strangled that it almost rolls its eyes. It has to say vaguely, at that time, spells were flourishing, and the monster race was full of powerful people. The human race was also proud of training Qi. It was a great era for personal ability enhancement. I don't know where the rumor came from. It said that the Earth would have a tribulation of 10,000 years. From powerful cultivators to ordinary plants, they were all the targets of tribulation. Lin Luoran lets go of Fire Phoenix's neck and sits on the swing. She murmurs, now it seems that it is not a rumor at all. In the tribulation of 10,000 years, countless species on the Earth were extinct, cultivators disappeared, and plants turned into ashes. Aren't they the targets of tribulation? There is also the broken immortal world. No, it clearly includes the gods and Buddhas in heaven. This tribulation is really horrible. In addition to Liao's description, the spiritual world left by the gods and Buddhas disappeared, and some clues that couldn't be figured out before are finally revealed. If there is a tribulation, according to the time of the collapse of the immortal world, the gods and Buddhas in heaven will be the first to face the tribulation. Seeing Fire Phoenix looking at her in the distance, Lin Luoran waves at it maliciously. You just said it was a little interesting. What's interesting about it? Fire Phoenix sneers, I am laughing at those cunning foxes. Even if they separate the Green Mountains, they still can't escape this tribulation. Yes, Lin Luoran thinks about it carefully and feels that what Fire Phoenix said is somewhat true. Cyan Little Fox is the biggest evidence. The color of the fox is cyan. It is the king of the nine-tailed fox family and its status is the most honorable. If the Green Hill Fox family can really avoid the disaster as they wish, the Cyan Little Fox will not only have a one-year-old fox by its side, living a miserable life. Looking at the Green Mountains world, Reiki is abundant, but no beast can open its mind and accept spirits into its body. It can be seen that the fox family's plan has failed after all. Is the paper crane's failure to find people also because of the special environment of the Green Mountains? Fire Phoenix shakes its head. There is a turbid atmosphere in the Green Mountains. Someone is secretly making trouble for you, preventing you from finding the little fox and the old man. Lin Luoran nods. Fire Phoenix is right. It is really a little interesting. No matter what, the tribulation of 10,000 years is suspected to be the cause of everything, or there are still troublemakers in such an environment of the Green Mountains, Lin Luoran feels that this trip is worthwhile. Fairy, are you interested in visiting the Green Mountains with me? White Fairy floats over and smiles sweetly, with pleasure. A person and a soul leave the space. The silver fish wags its tail and stares at Fire Phoenix for a long time. You said it on purpose, right? Chapter 501. In the space, Fire Phoenix and Silverfish are talking. Lin Luoran has no idea that she is rushing along the northeast direction at this moment. The paper crane is secretly destroyed by someone. Lin Luoran has to follow the northeast direction where the paper crane previously flew. White Fairy travels with her. With the help of 10,000-year hollow azurite, White Fairy's soul body is solid. She is no longer afraid of the erosion of turbid chi in the real world, let alone a place like the Green Mountains world with abundant reiki. All the way to the east, Lin Luoran doesn't forget to throw special plants into the space when she sees them. Further north, spring quietly retreats, and it is already a snowfield of ice and snow. From the warm spring to the icy snowfield, there is no transition at all. The ice and snow spread to the southwest at a speed visible to the naked eye. When she picks up a dead kingfisher frozen in ice, Lin Luoran faintly understands the crisis of the Green Mountains world. Is this ice and snow going to seal the entire Green Mountains world? If the ice and snow continue to spread, absolutely no life can survive. The Green Mountains world that the nine-tailed fox family tried so hard to preserve will not be much worse than the Earth today. No wonder the paper crane sent a message saying that the Green Mountains are in danger. But where are Cyan Little Fox and Liao at this time? What is waiting for her at the end of the ice and snow? Lin Luoran doesn't want to find a fox turned into an ice sculpture and a Liao who no longer chatters at the end at all. After a while, White Fairy beside her can't bear it at all. For the first time, Lin Luoran knows that souls of departed are also afraid of ice in addition to fire. This ice and snow can freeze people's primordial spirit. Be careful. White Fairy's face is pale. Lin Luoran's primordial spirit is hidden in the middle pubic region, so she doesn't feel anything wrong. However, White Fairy directly touches the ice and snow with her soul body. Her shoulders are covered with ice and snow, and her face is frosty. When Lin Luoran asks her to go back to the space, White Fairy's hands and feet are stiff. This strange ice and snow can hurt souls of departed. Lin Luoran shrinks her neck without caring about her image. She has to reach the destination as soon as possible before her physical body can resist it. The snowstorm roars. Lin Luoran speeds up. The snow condenses but does not melt. Soon, Lin Luoran's shoulder and hair turn into a white sheet. She looks like a moving snowman. Along the way, they saw more and more stiff and dead animals. The low plants on the ground had long been submerged. Only the towering trees were left standing proudly on the snowfield, retaining the posture before they were frozen. It was like the ice sculpture festival in Bing City before the new era. But with a light touch of his finger, a frozen towering tree fell on the snowfield into pieces. When it collapsed, it was like dominoes falling, and the chain effect caused the snowfield to be covered with snow. The place that used to be a dense forest had all collapsed. Be it the frozen plants or animals, they were all assimilated into the snow on the ground, and it was impossible to tell what they looked like when they were still alive. Lin Luoran feels that her hands and feet are stiff. Her eyelashes are gradually stuck by the falling snow. She can hardly open her eyes. The fire meta flows around and dispels the coldness in her meridians. Before Lin is frozen, she finally sees an ice peak in the distance. The floating cloud is only halfway up the ice peak, which shows how high this mountain is. Snow is falling everywhere. It should be a fairy-like place. However, the white cloud halfway up the mountain seems to be frozen by the ice and snow. It looks dull and the beautiful scenery becomes lifeless. At the foot of the ice peak, there are many crystal and lovely flowers that have not been submerged by the ice and snow. Lin Luoran once saw them in a remote mountain village, so she is familiar with them. However, these flowers, which are said to be able to realize people's wishes, are now so fragile that a large number of them will fall if she moves a little. They will instantly turn into powder and assimilate into the snowfield. They can't even protect themselves, let alone realize people's wishes. Lin Luoran extends her spiritual mind. The entire ice peak is dead silent, without any sign of life. She is a little disappointed. However, with the state of mind of the gathering vitality period, she is no longer the little girl who would lose her mind when she was hot-headed. Lin Luoran still carefully searches the entire area. Her divine sense was carefully probing. Someone had destroyed the paper crane locating spell, but the enemy who had been lurking in the dark along the way didn't give the game away. This was obviously not a happy conclusion. Wait, there are some abnormal fluctuations behind the ice peak. Lin Luoran hesitates for a moment and flies away. After she disappears in the depths of the frozen floating clouds in the mountain, a jackdaw crouching among the branches at the foot of the mountain, which is also frozen, opens its eyes. The sunlight falls on the jackdaw's white eyes, giving off a frightening and strange light. The closer Lin Luoran gets to the top of the mountain, the stronger the soul-freezing fear becomes. Lin Luoran frowns instinctively. When she is about to reach the top of the mountain, she changes her route and takes a detour. The feeling of palpitation fades away. Lin Luoran feels that she has avoided some unknown danger. She climbs over the ice peak from the side and walks in the direction where she found the fluctuations before. On the other side of the ice peak, there is an endless ice field, which looks nothing special. After Lin Luoran bumps into a large area of ice sculpture trees, she has an idea and finally finds something wrong. This ice field is too flat. Although the ground is covered with snow, the ice peak and flat land are either rugged rocks or towering ancient trees. There are also many animal corpses. Only the vast ice field that Lin Luoran sees at this time is as flat as a mirror carefully polished by a craftsman. No, it should be a lake. It turns out to be a lake? Lin Luoran carefully feels the fluctuation. Under the thick ice, there is indeed a fluctuation different from water reiki. Fire Phoenix, is there any way to go down? This kind of ice is very difficult to melt. Even if she uses meta, Lin Luoran just subconsciously discusses with Fire Phoenix. Unexpectedly, Fire Phoenix ponders for a while and really nods. Water and fire are incompatible. I don't have a way, but Sister Silverfish has a way. Little Silverfish? Lin Luoran has seen the fire of nirvana of Fire Phoenix and the cunning arts of nature of Wood Wolf. However, she has never associated the ignorant little silverfish with the word powerful because of the deep-rooted impression of it at the beginning. When she is in a trance, Fire Phoenix drags out a skeleton from its room with a distressed expression. Lin Luoran finds it familiar. After thinking for a while, she pats her head. Isn't this the dragon skeleton she got in the Dongting Dragon Palace? It has been taken by Fire Phoenix, but there is no news about it. After so many years, she almost forgets it. What's the relationship between the dragon skeleton and the silverfish? Fire Phoenix smiles like a charlatan. Haven't I told you that there is a way for the three of us to get out of this space temporarily? Lin Luoran's eyes are flashing with flames. She is 100% sure that Fire Phoenix, the scumbag, has never said anything. Fire Phoenix avoids Lin Luoran's murderous eyes and murmurs with the silver fish for a while. The confusion on the silverfish's face dissipates a little. Facing Fire Phoenix's entrustment, it nods its head solemnly. Wood Wolf wants to go forward, but it is fanned away by Fire Phoenix's wings. Lin Luoran feels that Fire Phoenix has become very strange after entering the Green Mountains world. This thing used to not take the initiative to explain to her. However, when the paper crane spell is destroyed, it takes the initiative to talk about the past. It also takes the initiative to say that the three residents of the space can go out. Unexpected events that Lin Luoran has never considered come to her one after another. Everything is as strange as the Green Mountains world that seems to be swallowed up by ice and snow. She doesn't even have time to think about the reason why Fire Phoenix becomes strange. She sees the silver-white half-solidified body of the little silver fish jumping into the dragon skeleton. Lin Luoran is speechless. Even White Fairy is not calm. After the little silver fish disappears on the dragon skeleton, the shrinking light on this skeleton, which has existed for many years, is like the beating frequency of a heart. Some flesh and blood actually appear on the skeleton inexplicably. It is evolving in the direction of perfection. Flesh and blood grow from white bones? Although Lin Luoran has seen many strange things with her own eyes since she embarked on the path of personal ability enhancement, She still pinches her thigh quietly when the dragon skeleton in front of her grows flesh and blood. It gradually becomes plump and is covered with silver dragon scales. The silver dragon opens its heavy eyelids. Its eyes are clear and a little confused. Lin Luoran can't be more familiar with this kind of eyes. It is the little silver fish. Lin Luoran doesn't understand how the little silver fish merges with the dragon skeleton. The giant dragon in front of her is not an illusion. Its flesh and blood are real, and White Fairy doesn't see anything wrong. Get out quickly. Sister Silver Fish can't hold on for a long time. Lin Luoran nods. The giant dragon is huge. She sits on the dragon's head and holds the dragon's horns tightly with both hands. The silver dragon coils up and takes Lin Luoran through the thick mist of the space. Lin Luoran is surrounded by a sense of stickiness and suffocation. She suddenly realizes that even if the little silver fish is attached to the dragon skeleton, it is extremely hard for it to get out of the space. At least as the owner of the space, she only needs to think about it, and it has never been so hard. After getting rid of the stickiness that binds her body, Lin Luoran has already left the space on the silver dragon. The icy cold air made her shocked. Was the snowstorm coming again? She was riding on the dragon's head, hovering high in the sky far away from the surface of the ice mirror lake, brushing past the sluggish floating clouds. The silver dragon raised its head and glanced at the top of the ice peak, seeming to have noticed something unusual. Hold on to the dragon's horns. Chapter 502. The snowstorm is raging. Lin Luoran holds the dragon's horn tightly. Before the silver dragon breaks the ice, the snowstorm has already arrived. Lin Luoran frowns and instinctively releases a ball of gathering vitality's true fire. The fire goes into the snowstorm cyclone. The cyclone stagnates. Lin Luoran grabs the dragon's horn and dives into the ice lake. The mirror-like ice lake shatters. The broken ice rubs Lin Luoran's cheek. Dragons are the kings of the water. Although the ice and snow are weird, they don't dare to be rash in front of the silver dragon. In the blink of an eye, Lin Luoran is already underwater. She notices the dragon's tail trembling. She is anxious. Has the snowstorm finally caught up with them? Before Lin Luoran can make a move, the silver dragon has taken her all the way to the depths of the lake. The lake naturally avoids them. Unexpectedly, it is not cold. The lake has frozen again. The unknown snowstorm doesn't catch up with them. Lin Luoran looks back. The silver dragon's tail is covered with white frost. It seems that it has been hurt just now. The ice on the lake is more than 10 meters thick. The silver dragon breaks the ice with Lin Luoran. It has been diving for a long time, but it still can't see the bottom. Not to mention fish, even algae can't be seen at the bottom of the lake. Lin Luoran doesn't know why she sensed the fluctuation before. Riding the silver dragon to search in the vast lake, Lin Luoran can't even see a shellfish. Lin Luoran feels that she has been ignored somewhere. She lets the silver dragon stop for a while. Far away from the lake, the light is dim. Together with the muddy lake mud brought by the silver dragon, Lin Luoran's vision is blurred. When the lake mud settles, the view becomes clear. Lin Luoran keenly notices a dim light at the bottom of the lake. It is like a bright moon is hidden in the water. The lake is shaking. Lin Luoran feels that the scene in front of her is quite familiar. Lin Luoran ponders for a while. She remembers that Yonggwa jumped into the cold pond in the Return of the Condor Heroes. There is another world in the pond water. An idea comes to her mind. She pats the silver dragon's forehead. Go there. The silver dragon shakes its body and understands. A pterosaur swims to the light source at the bottom of the lake. Lin Luoran and the silver dragon get into a blue light. The path of light is long and endless. It is hard for the silver dragon to get in and out of it. Lin feels sorry for the silver dragon's injury. She asks the silverfish if it can come out as long as it is attached to the dragon skeleton. Lin then moves it back to the space. Lin Luoran walks along the tunnel and finally sees the end after half a day. Through a translucent light gate, she faintly hears the noise on the other side. She hesitated for a moment, then stepped through the door. At that moment, Lin Luoran has thought about what is waiting for her behind the door. She can only say that life is always more fantastical than novels and the cultivation world. Demons with human heads, snake bodies, minotaur faces, long tails, short ears, all kinds of half-human half-demons formed an encirclement. The anger on their faces is obvious. What surprises Lin is the two people in the middle of the encirclement. A person's face was red, and the expression on his face was very strange. It was Baojia who entered the Green Mountains together. The other old man who is holding Baojia's right calf is Liao, who is in a mess. Lin Luoran feels that her temples are throbbing again. Lin Luoran crosses the light gate and makes some noise. In everyone's eyes, Baojia breathes a sigh of relief, but Liao looks very sad. He is not an alien with a red nose now, but a simple old fisherman she met in Dongting before. Niece, fortunately, you are here? Liao is crying and snot. The hatred of those half-human half-demons holding weapons is immediately drawn to him. Before Liao pounces on her, a minotaur has already waved the metal stick in his hand to hit Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran has a headache. She avoids the minotaur's attack, but the snake tail entangles her again. The scene is extremely chaotic. Liao wants to sneak away, but he is caught by Baojia. Hurry up and settle the trouble you've caused. Liao is grabbed by the collar. Because of the difficulty in breathing, his face turns into eggplant color. The old man wants to run away. Catch him. They are on the same side. Don't let them go. Yes, the human race is the most cunning, colorful spells and all kinds of magic weapons attack. The scene is a mess. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and takes out a few stinky mushrooms from the space and throws them around. Sure enough, there is a sound of vomiting. Lin Luoran's fingertips move rhythmically, and the white mist is so thick that nothing can be seen. She also throws a few small spells of nature to confuse people's sight. Lin Luoran takes advantage of the chaos and sneaks away with Baojia and Liao. After a long time, Liao complains that he is suffocated to death. Lin Luoran takes the two out of the soil. Different from the ice outside the lake, it is summer here. In the deep mountains where Lin Luoran and the other two are, birds are singing. Red berries are hanging among the branches, attracting monkeys to climb them and birds to peck them. It is a peaceful scene. The air is so fresh that people can't help but take a few more breaths. Unlike Lin Luoran and Baojia who are standing in the green forest, Liao looks very embarrassed. He is dirty and there are a few rotten leaves on his head. He is counting the ant nests beside the trunk with his eyebrows and eyes covered. Baojia frowns and then relaxes, and then frowns again. Is he your uncle? Uncle? Lin Luoran remembers the scene when she saw Liao holding Baojia's calf. She can't wait to pretend that she doesn't know this old man. Seeing Liao rolling his eyes, Lin Luoran also wonders, why does he cling to you? Baojia looks at Liao sideways. What is his background? He has lived for so many years, but he is still the same. Lin Luoran is stunned. She instantly understands what Baojia means. It turns out that she and Liao are also old acquaintances. Liao is looking at the sky. Lin Luoran frowns slightly after hearing this. Baojia met Liao when she left the Earth. They even drifted to the Nami Alliance together. It's not a big deal to be separated for some reason. However, Liao happened to sell the Great Truths to her in the grocery store of the N2 Star. What else are you hiding from me? After counting the ants, Liao grunts. Now the focus is the cyan little fox. If we don't find a way, it will become an ice cube. Liao is good at changing the topic. He knows exactly what Lin Luoran is thinking. She looks at the mountain forest surrounded by clouds and fog. I came here after receiving your paper cranes. Is this the Green Mountains world? Where is it outside of the ice lake? Liao drives away a silly monkey with a golden wire and a long tail. He picks a wild pear and chews it. This is the Green Mountains world. Outside the lake is also the Green Mountains world. Now the ice and snow are threatening us. If we don't find a way, the little fox will become an Arctic fox sooner or later to survive. This is the Green Mountains world. Lin Luoran looks at the mountains. It is really a primitive world. However, the personal ability of monsters is a little poor. She can't even see a complete humanoid monster. However, thinking of the lack of Diliu syrup, those strange half-human and half-beast monsters with ox heads and horse faces also make sense. Let's not talk about the Green Mountains world first. What happened to you when you came in? What's the matter with the ice and snow outside? Where is Cyan Little Fox at this time? Liao is a little annoyed. It's also my fault. If I didn't go to the temple, nothing would have happened. Cyan Little Fox is now trapped in the temple, and the ice and snow are also here. Now I can't return this thing even if I want to. Liao fumbles in his arms for a long time. Lin Luoran doesn't know where he gets a fiery red diamond-shaped crystal the size of an egg. Lin Luoran suddenly feels hot even though she is a few steps away from it. Liao looks like it is not hot at all. Lin Luoran touches it with her hand and is surprised by the huge fire reiki in the diamond-shaped crystal. With such strong fire reiki, the crystal can be smashed. Maybe a big fire can burn the earth. How can Liao get such a big weapon? The divine hall you mentioned is on the icy peak outside? Liao nods. Lin Luoran points at the diamond-shaped crystal in his hand and asks, "Did you take this crystal and attract the 1,000-mile ice peak?" She has always known that Liao is unreliable in doing things. Logically speaking, he shouldn't have made such a disclosure. The Song of Ice and Fire. Can the fire crystal in the temple be taken casually? Chapter 503. Did it fall down? This is not a good phenomenon. It has been shown in countless novels and movies. Anything related to the words temple and altar will be suppressed under it. It is not a righteous existence. Lin Luoran remembers the raging blizzard. It is really gloomy and frightening, which makes her feel uncomfortable from the bottom of her heart. It is a pity that her ocean of consciousness is unstable because of the foundation building. She can't cast spells at will, and she has lost a lot of confidence. It turns out that Cyan Little Fox can't stand Liao's entanglement. The latter has the power to break the world. When Lin Luoran is still dealing with the Moonstar and busy with the Miaoying spell conference, Liao and the fox have already returned to the earth and headed for the Green Mountains. Cyan Little Fox disappeared in the Green Mountains. It was not that it didn't want to come out, but it was easy to go in but difficult to come out. When it worked hard to cultivate a second tail and ran out of the Green Mountains, the earth had already become a scorched land. It couldn't find the former Lin family, so it had to run to the Kalahari Desert. Entering the Green Mountains again, Cyan Little Fox now has a little personal ability. It doesn't have to hide with its tail between its legs like 300 years ago. Under the instigation of Liao, a person and a fox wander all over the Green Mountains. Finally, they climb to the temple on the highest peak. God knows why there is a temple in the Green Mountains world. Cyan Little Fox didn't dare to come here 300 years ago. Now it is here, but it still doesn't know which god it worships. It should be known that the nine-tailed fox family in the Green Mountains world can cultivate to the level of celestial fox and prove the Tao with monster body. Why do they need to worship other gods? They are the gods of the Green Mountains world. Liao drags Cyan Little Fox to the highest peak. It is called a temple, but it is actually very decadent. There is nothing unusual about it. This is the nest of the nine-tailed fox. Cyan Little Fox has never thought that there will be insidious things in this dilapidated temple which occupies the highest terrain of the Green Mountains world. Liao is a lively person. Seeing the temple is so dilapidated, he makes an appointment to go down the mountain. However, before we step out of the dilapidated temple, the mountain suddenly shakes a few times. The temple is so dilapidated that the altar collapsed at that time, revealing this broken crystal. How can an earthquake happen so coincidentally? Lin Luoran stares at the diamond-shaped well and is also annoyed. Uncle Liao, why didn't you return it at that time? Liao stares at her without saying a word. Lin Luoran blushes. The world of cultivation is not otherworldly. Many cultivators, including Lin Luoran, have the same idea as Liao. Things picked up for free are collectively called lucky chances. When Liao picked it up, he didn't expect it to be so troublesome. Seeing that Lin Luoran doesn't blame him, Liao continues, the cyan little fox sees something unusual. It asks you to return the crystal. Of course, there is no time to return it. Lin sighs. Liao picks up the crystal. Cyan little fox seems to think of something and asks him to return it quickly. Before Liao takes action, a mass of white light rushes out of the broken altar. In the blink of an eye, Foxy was sucked in. Master Liao wanted to reach out to grab it, but his fingers almost froze. Fortunately, Lord Liao was quick enough to throw a treasure inside to protect it. Liao talks about this part proudly, but he is too embarrassed to tell the second part about running away. Lin Luoran knows it and doesn't feel embarrassed to tell him. She just asks him what kind of treasure he threw in. It's a collar. Liao is very proud. That is not an ordinary collar. He woke up from the broken world of immortals and finally picked it up from a pile of junk. After many years of testing, it does have some magical effects. Collar? What kind of collar? Lin Luoran is scared. She thinks something is wrong. Suddenly, she remembers a collar she picked up in the Misty Palace. She takes it out and shows it to Liao. Liao clicks his tongue. It's not as good as mine. It can trap mythical beasts. It is carved with unicorns, dragons, and phoenixes. It's very impressive. So, Cyan Little Fox was caught in a hurry, and you threw an animal collar on it? Liao nods. It's not a shame to match it. Without its master, ordinary people can't get close to Cyan Little Fox. It's a kind of protection. Lin Luoran is speechless. Yes, even a broken boat has 3 pounds of iron nails. It is natural that the animal collar from the world of immortals has some tricks. Although Liao's behavior is absurd, he does it for the Cyan Little Fox. Even so, when Lin Luoran thinks that Cyan Little Fox is trapped by the animal collar, it may be willing to die even if it is protected. That's it, Sundara. After that, you took this crystal and hid in the lake. That's why the outside world is covered with ice and snow. The snowstorm chased the fox to the ice lake and stopped. It was not because of the abnormality of the lake water, but because it was afraid of the crystal in Liao's hand. However, judging from the thickness of the ice in the lake, it was just a matter of time before it chased after the fox and turned the Xanadu on this side of the lake into an ice world. Although the crystal can restrain ice and snow, everything in the world is the same. Fire can restrain water, and water can also put out fire. When the ice and snow is strong enough, no crystal can restrain it no matter how powerful it is. The most important thing is that Cyan Little Fox is still in the hands of the unknown existence. Lin Luoran clears her mind and turns to ask Baojia, how did you get here? Did you see the acacia tree monster? Baojia shakes her head. I woke up in a forest and fought with those monsters several times. Then I met Uncle Liao. Lin Luoran smiles bitterly. Uncle Liao, what did you do to make these monsters angry? Liao is no longer as wretched as before. He straightens his chest and takes out many things from his arms. There are teeth of monsters, spirit herbs, ores, and so on. Lin Luoran and Baojia are dumbfounded at the sight of these things. Could it be that you stole it? It must be so. No wonder the monsters besiege him angrily. For the first time, Lin Luoran feels that she is helping the wicked. Baojia and Liao have been together for a while. She says thoughtfully, you stole these things to anger those monsters. Do you want to lead them to save Cyan Little Fox? Liao's secret is revealed. He laughs awkwardly. Lin Luoran feels a little guilty for wrongly blaming Liao. She thinks about it and shakes her head. The ice and snow are extremely powerful. These monsters are safe and sound now. I'm afraid that you are hiding on this side of the lake with the crystal in your hand. Obviously, they have no chance of winning against the unknown existence. The solution is very simple. She has to return the crystal and place it on the altar of the temple, provided that the crystal can still restrain the powerful ice and snow. The question is, who can put the crystal back? Lin Luoran thinks of her heart palpitations when she was close to the top of the ice peak. It turns out that Liao's plan to provoke the anger of the monsters and then attack the temple together is extremely unsuccessful. If Lin Luoran doesn't appear in time, not only will he be killed by the monsters, but also Baojia will be implicated. Compared with conspiracies, Lin Luoran prefers open and above-board schemes. She takes Liao back to the previous battlefield and lays out all the things Liao stole before. Monsters come one after another, and they don't know what Lin Luoran wants to do. Lin Luoran returns the things. She doesn't instigate or add fuel to the fire. Of course, she doesn't whitewash things. She just tells these monsters about the crisis facing the Green Mountains world at this time. Should they choose to fight with her or be cowardly and wait for the ice and snow to suppress the power of the crystal? In the end, they will die. These monsters should know what to do. Despicable human race, how can we judge whether what you said is true or not? A lark chirps. Liao stole its eggs. It's really hateful. No wonder it is vigilant. Besides, outside the lake is just an affiliated place of the Green Mountains. The Green Mountains are everlasting all 4 seasons. What kind of ice and snow can affect here? These monsters are isolated from the world. There is no human race in the Green Mountains world, and the people here are simple. They have a bad impression of Liao, whom they first met. Hearing the lark's words, all monsters look at Lin Luoran suspiciously. Lin Luoran doesn't refute. She puts the crystal in her hand into the space in public. Without the crystal, the monsters stand very close to the light gate of the ice lake. The cold air coming from the sparkling twisted wall makes everyone shrink their necks. A lot of moss grows on the moist ground. The vibrant moss has been covered with a layer of frost in just a few minutes. The air of ice and snow ignores the barrier of the lake, making people feel cold from the bottom of their hearts. They finally understand that what Lin Luoran said is true. The Green Mountains world is facing a life and death situation. Either the glorious fire will suppress the white snow, or the everlasting Green Mountains will become a barren land of snow. This is the battle song of ice and fire. The monsters have been singing it unconsciously. Chapter 504. The atmosphere is subtle and complicated. Monsters and Lin Luoran and other 2 people are guarding near the light gate. The crystal has been taken out a long time ago. The everlasting warmth in the air comes back. The frost on the moss fades and it becomes green again. What to do? This is the same question flashing over the heads of monsters and Lin Luoran and other 2 people. Unfortunately, the 2 sides have just made peace and the atmosphere is so solemn that they can't talk easily for a while. Monsters and cultivators don't have to eat. However, Liao has a long life and he is actually no different from mortals. After the previous escape, Liao's stomach starts to growl when everything is quiet. He feels so ashamed. Lin Luoran takes out a few fruits and throws them to Liao. The skin is soft and the flesh is plump. When she bites them, the fragrance of fruits fills the air. The lark turns its head. Its round eyes roll a few times and it lowers its head to comb the feathers on its wings. It doesn't run around with an incomplete appearance like other monsters. It still looks like its original body with a beautiful feather crown on its head. Its mouth is small and conical. Its wings are pointed and long, and its tail is a little short. Its gray appearance has nothing to do with beauty, nor does it have power or deterrence. Only its voice is wonderful. Although it talks endlessly, it is not annoying. The bird is secretly looking at Lin Luoran, and Lin Luoran is also looking at it. Compared with those monsters, the lark is weak, but it can stay steadily. It is smart. Although its words are sharp, Lin Luoran always feels that it is more like the bird's camouflage. These monsters have enough time to think, but Lin Luoran can't waste time with them. Cyan Little Fox is still in the hands of Blizzard. God knows how long the animal trap thrown by Liao can last. It is absolutely impossible for the 3 of them to attack the ice peak. However, how can they unite monsters? The lark on the opposite side is secretly looking at her again. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and takes a handful of cherries out of space with sweet potato leaves. She doesn't say it, so others just think she takes something out of the storage space. Although the cherries are a little bigger and redder, it is nothing strange in the eyes of these monsters. However, after inviting the lark to taste the cherries produced in her space, Lin Luoran really strikes up a conversation with the lark. Lin Luoran is surprised by the wisdom hidden under the chirping of this bird. As soon as she starts to talk, the lark interrupts her when she is about to encourage the monsters to act. After eating the cherry, it starts to talk about ancient legends. The Green Mountains world used to be a place where hundreds of races contended for supremacy. Now it's rare for even a human race to appear. The lark spits out a cherry stone. It looks around and whispers in Lin Luoran's ear, "The monsters don't like the mountain outside, but I heard that there is an evil ghost under it." Evil spirit? Lin Luoran rolls her eyes at the lark. Even cultivators of the gathering vitality period are afraid of it. How can it be an ordinary evil ghost? What they don't know is that souls are the weakest. When White Fairy was in the abyss, she was even afraid of the wind. Ordinary ghosts can't resist a cultivator's fireball spell. Compared with cultivators who pursue the Tao of nature, Maoshantaoists who catch ghosts and monsters are just small tricks. However, what the lark says is a clue. Liao comes up with a licking face. The one under it may be an old acquaintance. With this, he sneaks a look at Baojia and then sits up straight. Lin Luoran has an idea. Liao came earlier than them, and he is an old monster who has lived for countless years. Although he has no personal ability, he can never be equated with illiterate in terms of knowledge. He is more like a mobile library in the world of cultivation. Why does Liao sneak a look at Baojia? The blizzard under the altar is an old acquaintance, but it can only be Liao's old acquaintance. How can it have anything to do with Baojia? Lin Luoran shakes her head, trying to get rid of this absurd idea. Liao mouths to her. After guessing for a while, she finally grasps the syllable that Liao didn't say. Kamehameha? Snake. She is speechless because of Liao. She turns her head and talks with the lark for a while. Then she suddenly freezes. Liao is not talking about Kamehameha, but Guzeng. Old acquaintance, Baojia, Green Mountains. There is a sentence in Guzeng. Chiu came from amniotic fluid. He had 8 arms, 8 toes, and a sparse head. He climbed Juneo to attack Kongseng. The Yellow Emperor killed him in Green Mountains. How can she even forget this? In the legend of Huaxia, the Yellow Emperor's family lives in the Kunlun Hill and takes the 9-tailed fox, Luwu, as its protector. In addition to ordinary mortals, the Jiuli tribe and the Dongyi tribe also live in the Green Mountains. Their protector is the 9-tailed fox. When the veil of the fog is lifted, thoughts can easily spread along a certain point. Lin Luoran narrows her eyes and thinks a lot. Baojia is a descendant of the Jiuli tribe. The fake saintess is the saintess of the Jiuli tribe. The 9-tailed fox is the protector of the Jiuli tribe. No wonder the fake saintess planned to take Cyan Little Fox with her when she was about to leave the earth with the jade stairs. Although Cyan Little Fox doesn't know her, the fake saintess probably has an old relationship with the 9-tailed fox tribe. Chiu came from amniotic fluid. The Yellow Emperor killed him in Green Mountains. Is it possible that the blizzard under the altar has something to do with Chiu? Or it might even be Chiu. Liao's winking is not groundless. If the one running out of the altar is really the ancestor of Baojia's family, this matter will really fall on Baojia's head, but if she and Liao make a wrong judgment, Baojia may be in danger. Lin Luoran hesitates. Liao rolls his eyes quickly and tries to please Baojia with a sneaky look. Baojia touches her face. There is no dirt on it, but she always feels that these two people are staring at her strangely. The lark sees Lin Luoran's hesitation. It is anxious, but it doesn't show it on its face. It jumps back to the monsters. As a lark with extremely poor congenital physique, it can get to where it is today not only because of a good chance but also because of its wisdom. Lin Luoran just wants to save the Cyan Little Fox. For these monsters living in the Green Mountains, if the grass and trees wither, they will really die. Being stared at by Liao, Baojia is restless. She finds an excuse to get some fresh air and runs into the forest. Someone breaks the silence, and the monsters start to talk noisily. Some of them are so arrogant that they directly go to the ice peak. Others say that they should work together to break the border of the Green Mountains and go to the human world. Lin Luoran doesn't refute them. She just calmly tells them the current situation of the earth. The monsters are even more restless. There are wolves in front and tigers behind. Does Tao of Nature want to kill the monsters in the Green Mountains? The lark tilts its head and has an idea. Taking advantage of the commotion of the monsters, it sneaks along the direction where Baojia gets some fresh air. Nolan, no, her surname is Qin, and her name is Baojia. A blade of grass as wide as a finger twines around her fingertips. Even if she doesn't admit it, she can't change the fact that Nolan and Baojia are the same person. Whether it is Bao or Jia, they both mean auspicious in Huaxia language. Her birth is bound to be the treasure of the Qin family. Facing the past that she has completely forgotten, Baojia is afraid and envious. She has dealt with Qin Baojia on the Nami star, so she knows how much Lin Luoran values her friendship with Qin Baojia. She is very envious that Qin Baojia has such a good friend. However, she is just wearing the shell of Qin Baojia. Her heart is completely different, including personality. From Lin Luoran's description, it is not difficult to know that Qin Baojia is reckless and lives like a flame. However, Manja Nolan is an ignorant newborn, drifting among stars, and then being adopted. She has no conditions to be reckless at all. Is she worthy of the friendship that belongs to Qin Baojia and Lin Luoran? The blade of grass is rubbed by Baojia. Baojia's narrow eyes are shining. The snow sword suddenly comes out of its sheath and slashes at a big tree nearby. Blue light falls, and there are birds chirping among the dense branches. A few feathers fall with leaves. The lark is very angry. Baojia stands with the sword. She is not angry but laughs. You follow me secretly. Why can't I cut you with my sword? The lark is sad about the fallen feathers. It jumps while chatting with Baojia. Seeing Baojia's impatient face, it goes forward and bewitches her with words, "Hey, you are so powerful. Haven't you ever thought about helping your friend?" Friend? In the eyes of the monster, she and Lin Luoran are friends? Apart from this, speaking of power, how can the bearing essence period be compared with the gathering vitality period? Seeing Lin Luoran frowning, she knows that this matter is very difficult. This stinky bird actually comes to make fun of her. The lark coos twice. Don't look at me like that. Just now, the other girl and the old man who stole my eggs secretly talked a lot. It must have something to do with you, and the ice peak outside. Baojia returns the snow sword to the hairpin and still puts it in her hair. She lowers her eyes and no one knows what she is thinking. Did she guess wrong? The lark sighs and wants to fly away. Baojia looks up and smiles. Chapter 505. The monsters quarrel for a long time, but they still can't figure out who is more important. They are counting on this group of mobs to kill their way to the ice peak. Dark clouds cover Lin Luoran's head and she can't get rid of it. She squints at Liao. Liao's face turns blue and then purple, and then from red to white, as if he has knocked over a pallet. He is so ashamed. He was planning to provoke these monsters to go to the ice peak before. However, it seems that he will only be a hindrance if he goes there. Stop quarreling. In the face of these monsters, Lin Luoran doesn't have a good temper. She directly rewards the monsters with a heavy rain of pepper. In the sound of sneezing, they are finally willing to focus their eyes on one person. Lin Luoran feels sad. What's the big deal about glaring? At least they are willing to look at her. Speaking of which, what happens in the Green Mountains has nothing to do with me. If you keep quarreling, I will go out with the crystal that can stop the ice and snow. Then we can go our separate ways. You are willing to be ice sculptures for thousands of years. What does it have to do with me? This is a blatant threat. Many monsters grind their teeth at Lin Luoran, but she just pretends not to see it. If she wants to attack the ice peak, she can only rely on surprise. After half a day, Lin Luoran has gained something. She even has an extremely bold plan in her mind. There is an altar in the Temple of the Ice Peak. As long as the crystal is placed on the altar again, the Green Mountains world will not be restored to its previous appearance, but at least the ice and snow will not continue to spread. The crystal is lying quietly in her palm. The weather is sunny, and it reflects glazed brilliance in the light. What if there is more than one crystal? The bold and risky idea makes Lin Luoran's heart beat like a drum. If she uses the fake crystal to fish in troubled waters, with the number of monsters going up the mountain from different directions, can she deceive the snowstorm? Before Lin Luoran can speak, the lark flies from the dense forest with panic in its eyes. Your friend went up the mountain alone. Lin Luoran's pupils shrink. She clutches the slender neck of the lark. What did you say to her? Why would Baojia go to the ice peak alone? She was guarding the light gate. Where did Baojia go? The camp of humans and monsters is different. Although the lark is usually naggy and annoying, once Lin Luoran becomes hostile, all monsters will still stand on the side of the lark. The war is about to break out. The mist beads on the treetops are condensed by the momentum of the monsters. They hang in the air and don't fall. Compared with Liao, who is sweating, it is quite like the climax of a mime. Liao barely saves the lark from Lin Luoran. He is so nervous that his face turns green. Let's talk nicely, let's talk nicely. The lark hides behind Liao and shouts hoarsely, I can't stop her if she wants to go. Baojia walked out from the bottom of the lake. The entrance of the underground tunnel leading to the ice peak is in the territory where the lark has lived for generations. It stinks and looks like a big cesspool. No wonder the lark knows that the tunnel leads to the outside of the Green Mountains. However, it has never taken the shortcut for hundreds of years. It stinks and is so dirty that there is no place to step. Lin Luoran hands the fire crystal which is born with the strange fire to the lark. I will take the real crystal away. If we don't cooperate well, we will die together. Hiding in the inner mirror is just a struggle. The faces of the lark and other monsters all change. No matter how angry they are, they can't lose their temper. Lin Luoran is telling the truth. Liao is dragged down the cave by Lin Luoran. He almost faints on the spot. He has lived for so many years. The worst time was when he was trapped in the Gobi Desert. He dug a hole and hid there for half a year. He has eaten scorpions, rat blood, and live spiders. However, such a smelly tunnel. Liao barely suppresses the nausea in his stomach and looks at Lin Luoran beside him. Linny is very powerful. She doesn't care about filth. In this kind of environment, she can also be indifferent, which makes the knowledgeable Liao admire her. They are both human beings. His legs are full of feces while Lin Luoran is clean. Why is the gap so big? Liao finally finds the light covering Lin Luoran's body. She is not stepping on the ground at all. Liao pinches his nose and admits defeat. He secretly despises cultivators for 100 times. However, Lin Luoran suddenly hands him a plant similar to golden grass. What is it? Chewing it. Otherwise, are you sure you can walk there? Linny is a good person. Liao grabs the golden grass and throws it into his mouth to chew. It tastes sweet, sour, bitter, spicy, and salty. His nose is full of tears. He points at Lin Luoran but can't say a word. Lin Luoran is not in a good mood. She only cares about hurrying on the way. She has no time to comfort Liao's fragile heart. Liao feels sorry for himself for a while. When his exploding taste buds calm down, his mouth is numb. This is not a spirit herb. It is clearly a poison. However, his nose is so irritated that he can't smell any odor at all. When they go far, the smelly tunnel is actually a different world. Maybe they are under the ice lake. The tunnel is damp and cold, but the light of treasures is shining. They are inlaid with many gems of various colors. Lin Luoran doesn't know if they are left by a lark who loves money. Any one of them can be auctioned at a sky-high price on the earth before the new era. The timing is not right and it is not a spirit stone. Lin Luoran doesn't even bother to lift her eyelids. Liao can't enhance his personal ability. Spirit stones are useless to him, let alone ordinary gems. As Lin Luoran rushes on the way, She takes some time to explore the space with her spiritual mind. There is a dragon corpse on the ground. Its bones and flesh are fresh, but its eyeballs are dead. Where is little silver fish? Is it okay? Dragon is the king of the sea. With a complete dragon skeleton, little silver fish can barely cast spells against nature and get out of the shackles of space. Phoenix is already the top existence among birds. If Fire Phoenix wants to get out of space, Lin Luoran can provide it with a phoenix skeleton. Hearing Lin Luoran's question, the dragon corpse reluctantly opens its eyes. In the blink of an eye, the lifeless dragon body becomes alive again. It turns out that little silver fish is still in the dragon body. Linny, it's dangerous ahead. Don't go. Little silver fish's soft voice doesn't match the huge dragon body. Lin Luoran can hear the worry in its words. Among the three monsters, Fire Phoenix and Silver Fish have been together for the longest time. Fire Phoenix often has a sharp tongue, but it cares about Lin Luoran the most. Little Silver Fish is confused, but it doesn't mean that it is a fool. If it says it is dangerous, then it is really dangerous. Is it dangerous? Since Lin Luoran stepped on the road of personal ability enhancement, she has never had a peaceful life. Cultivators go against nature. Why should Lin Luoran be afraid of this little danger? After comforting little silver fish, Lin Luoran withdraws her spiritual mind from the space. The tunnel suddenly narrows and loses the bright light of the gems along the way. The dark and empty space in front of her makes people feel cold as if it can devour everything. Liao's heart beats a little fast unconsciously, and his steps have slowed down. It can be seen that the absurd and unruly Liao is very hesitant. After hesitating for a long time, he reluctantly takes out 2 folded squares of yellow paper tied with red strings from his arms. He hangs one on his neck and hands the other to Lin Luoran. Protective figure? Lin Luoran takes it. It is just an ordinary yellow paper without any leakage of Reiki. However, Liao has an extraordinary background. The things collected by him are definitely not ordinary. Lin Luoran also solemnly hangs it on her neck like him. This is the exorcism figure drawn by the first celestial master Zhang himself. Liao briefly tells the origin of the yellow figure. Since the world of cultivation has declined, the celestial master Taoism, which is an unorthodox school, has no way to survive. The exorcism figure drawn by the first celestial master Zhang himself is really an amazing object. However, Liao's understatement is really not his usual show-off temperament. Lin Luoran suddenly understands that Liao is not confident because he hangs the exorcism figure drawn by the celestial master Zhang around his neck. That thing has completely woken up. Liao murmurs absent-mindedly. The deep black hole not only devours light but also the courage and fearlessness deep in people's hearts. Lin Luoran feels that if she continues to hesitate, not to mention what Liao will think, even she will lose the courage to move forward. Lin Luoran takes the lead and steps into the dark cave. Liao sighs, but he has to follow her in. In fact, it is completely different from what they think. It is very close, but there is no darkness or narrowness. The green gravel path is winding upward. No one knows where it leads, but the overall environment is refreshing and reassuring. Is this the belly of the mountain? Does the tunnel lead directly to the belly of the ice peak? Lin Luoran can't believe how fast her luck turns. Liao opens his eyes wide. He pinches and bites the bluish stone, and his voice is trembling. Linny, come and see, the world is so big that nothing is too strange. Lin Luoran is no longer the country bumpkin rookie who made a fuss when she saw a glowing stone. Liao asks her to see it. Lin Luoran finally notices the bluish stone carefully. It is smooth without polishing, and its texture is like jade. The most important thing is that Lin Luoran knows this thing. 10,000-year hollow azurite. Oh my god, is this mountain made of 10,000-year hollow azurite? She once got a small piece of 10,000-year hollow azurite from Danling Taoist. It is so precious. Melting the powder in the alchemy furnace can improve the level of elixirs. It is a good thing that everyone in the world of cultivation will fight for. White Fairy also likes it very much. Lin Luoran has to dig a big piece for White Fairy to fulfill her promise. Liao's face is shaking. He suddenly realizes something, but he is also shocked and scared. No wonder there are fewer and fewer 10,000-year hollow azurite left in the world of cultivation. Even if the Green Mountains world has not been separated, Earth cultivators can't find it. Who could have thought that someone would use 10,000-year hollow azurite as a mountain to perform a spell against nature? A spell against nature? Lin Luoran is creeped out by his words. Liao pinches a small piece of 10,000-year hollow azurite. His eyes are looking at the end of the winding path. 10,000-year hollow azurite, also known as Green Mountain Stone, is a natural treasure associated with the Green Mountains world. It is just a small trick for cultivators to use it to make elixirs. In fact, its main effect is to consolidate the soul and reshape the body. Consolidate the soul and reshape the body. No wonder White Fairy wants 10,000-year hollow azurite. Wait, consolidate the soul and reshape the body? Lin Luoran thinks of the cold snowstorm and the possible identity of snowstorm. She is also worried. Consolidate the soul and reshape the body? Is it what I think? Seeing her expression, Liao seems to understand. This old rascal is almost crying. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.